asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
Get Memorial Day savings now at the Home Depot with free delivery and up to 40% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like Whirlpool. Store dinners and keep your coolers iced for sports practice. With the large storage and ice capacity of all day with savings on select appliances right at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid May 15th through June 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough. But with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across our multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get a free quote at ethos.com/beat. That's ethos.com/beat.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit talknowaz.com because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at talknowaz.com. Sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. The radio home of Super Bowl 60, 1580, The Fanatics.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Harris in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And as we are, trying to figure out some future plans, and we're trying to scheme, and we're trying to do things. Well, one of the things I got to ask young Harris, who claims to be an expert in such things, when it comes to social media and promoting and stuff like that. Should I just stop telling everybody what the hell day it is?
What day it is?
Yeah, because today's National Egg Day.
No, I think you should keep it up.
Oh, listen, you can't beat a good mess of eggs, man, in the morning.
I said you did that with the
my
beating.
God.
Egg feeding. You did that. The feeding of the eggs.
I had some eggs this morning. It was awesome.
Oh, wait a second. Are you advocating for the domestic violence on eggs?
Yes. Yeah, the beatier the better.
He hates
yeah,
eggs.
Yeah, just work those babies over, and you get a nice scramble or an omelet going. Oh my God, that's the way to have it right there.
So,
hey, or maybe you like it sunny side up. Maybe you don't like to have your eggs.
How do you like your eggs, Randy? How do you like your eggs?
I like them. I like them cooked mostly and on my plate. That's how I like my eggs.
I like over medium.
I like
over medium if I'm going to have them cooked, or then in whatever omelet or scramble, I'm easy. How about you, Harris?
Scrambled all the way, man.
Because you're a child.
I mean,
you're a child. You couldn't cook an over medium egg if you wanted to.
I could cook an over medium egg, first off, but I prefer it to be scrambled. I don't mind, though. Let me say I'm very versable.
You don't know life until you have dipped your toast in yolk and,
I can
and used it to clean the plate.
I can eat hard boiled. I can eat over medium, over easy.
Hard boiled is nothing like over medium, unless you're cooking it wrong.
I'm just saying if you prefer it that way.
You do eggs on the grill, Randy?
Oh, I have not. I
you
have
could
not
just put
yet.
a metal plate there.
Yeah,
and just do it right there.
I have a set of cast iron. I could put the cast iron on there, and I could grill up some bacon, and I could have some eggs on there, and then we've got like a griddle thing. I could get some cakes going and some eggs and bacon. Oh my God, yes!
Oh, that's exactly what I had this morning, Randy. I had pancakes, bacon, and eggs. You described my breakfast of champions.
That's a good man, right
there. Tank Blood just shocked me because I thought Moist One would be the first one to say this. He says, "How do you like your eggs, fried or fertilized?" Yeah, he likes them fertilized, but Mr. Wilbur says, "Oh, over easy eggs, gross."
I don't think they're gross.
What do you mean gross?
I mean gross.
Listen,
good.
It's your mouth and your taste, and clearly, as a Arizona fan, you have bad taste, but that's none of my business.
Yeah.
How do you like your eggs, Wilbur? Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody doesn't like eggs.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that wouldn't like eggs. They're like, honestly, if you talk about the Harris tier of foods, eggs are in absolute tier A.
Well, how have you survived the super duper expensive egg time? The prices have backed up some, and then Hickman Farms had to kill all of their chickens because, well, they knew too much. Wow. That's the real story.
Yeah,
but they've lost 1 million chickens, like literally 1 million chickens.
Wow.
No and kidding. That poor Hickman Farms, they are destitute right now. They are trying to regrow, repopulate their chickens. And I'm going to tell you what, I am pledging to support an Arizona company. As soon as I see Hickman Farm eggs on the shelf again, I'm going to buy those.
Yeah.
And hopefully they won't be $83. Yeah. But that was really sad to see a local company like that suffering. But
and they've been around forever too. Yeah, I remember those guys way back when I was a kid.
So my wife gets the liquefied. I call them fake eggs, but they're real eggs. But they're like specifically without the yolk and stuff in it or what. It's not egg whites, but it's like it's a concoction. And that's like $8 a damn little carton that we make in the breakfast and stuff. I'm good with just regular eggs. I don't even care.
Does Alex not like to break the egg? Is that what it is?
She's expert at it. I'll be honest. I don't ask too many questions about the food I am given because I like it. So I just keep my damn mouth shut. But I notice things. So I know that eggs got super duper expensive, and now they're not quite as expensive now. And Harris is saying he's eating eggs all the damn time. Then that's I guess Harris is balling.
I have not eaten eggs all the time. I actually took a decent hiatus from it
because of the expense.
I've started recently eating eggs again because they have dropped a little bit, but still it's tough over here.
How many eggs does it take to really satisfy you? You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody gives me a plate, I almost need 3 eggs to even dent the satisfaction level of a breakfast. To me, eggs just they're not they're very light.
They're the side. So my usual go-to is pancakes, bacon, and eggs. And the eggs are the side, but the eggs are the protein. That's what fills you up. All serve a very important role in this. And I think 3 is about what does it for me. 4 is like satisfaction. 3 is we're getting there. So I'm with you, Jeffrey.
Last Optimist says, Hickman Farms informed us the U.S. created and produces a bird flu vaccine, but it's illegal for them to use it. Feds would rather just kill all the birds. Hickman Farms supplies eggs for all brands in like a 5-state area. Wow. Okay. I don't even know what to do with that information.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sad. So hopefully Hickman Farms can rebound. Regal Beagle says, I like balut eggs. Look it up if you dare.
Balut eggs?
I think isn't that thing where the Vietnamese version where you crack it open and you see like a mostly formed egg already? Is that it? Or the Philippines, I think. I think that's what it is.
You mean a mostly formed egg fetus?
Yeah.
Chicken fetus?
When you crack it open and there's like little bird in it going, hey, close the door. You know,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Am I right? Is that
fertilized duck egg that has been incubated for 14 to 21 days?
That's nasty. Wilbur says, I like my eggs like my brain, scrambled. Oh, Mr. Wilbur.
Mr. Wilbur.
Yeah.
Bruno Baller says, I have smoked deviled eggs before and they were really good. Oh, yeah. Well, you hard boil it, right? And then you do the thing and then smoke it.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that before. I haven't tried them personally, but yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Supergirl says, eggs are great, but you still need to watch that cholesterol. But go ahead, egg away.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. You do have to watch the cholesterol. I see what you did there. Yeah.
So you need an egg substitute, Harris?
Actually looking, yeah. I'm thinking of doing one thing I love is hash browns and then putting some gravy on it.
So here's what is a good substitute for eggs.
Okay, let's hear it.
Blood.
What?
Yeah,
What?
no, seriously. Eggs and blood have a similar protein composition, particularly with the albumin that gives both of them their coagulant properties. So if egg prices are too much for you, you just go to the butcher and say, I could please have some blood. And 65 grams of animal blood equals 1 egg. Write that down, Harris. 65 grams of animal blood equals one egg. Or that's roughly 4 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons of blood, maybe even your own blood. But 4 tablespoons of blood equals 1 egg.
Yeah, I don't think, for some reason, I don't think that Harris is going to be writing that down.
I'm actually writing it down.
Are you really?
4 tablespoons of blood equals
1 egg.
1 egg.
Yeah. Or
I got our first social media clip. Bam.
Or a 1/4 cup of applesauce could also equal an egg if you're baking or you're doing stuff. Seriously, that's a real thing.
I'm not an applesauce guy.
You'd rather have the blood.
No.
Okay.
No, but applesauce I just don't think is that good.
Okay.
I think it's a little too sweet.
Supergirl says, hold the yolk for me. It's very slippery, and I think if you try to hold the yolk,
it kind of goes through your fingers. Yeah.
Last Optimist says, I'll take any of the following: egg and bacon, egg, sausage and bacon, egg and spam, egg, bacon and spam, egg, bacon, sausage and spam, spam, bacon, sausage and spam, egg, spam, bacon and spam, egg and spam. I don't like spam. Moist One says, how about some spotted dick? I don't even know, Richard.
That's big over in the UK, I understand.
Have you had the spotted dick, Harris?
No, I have not had the
good clean living right there.
Oh yeah,
Jeffrey, how you?
It's actually a dessert.
Is it really?
Yeah,
really.
It's very a British sweet dessert. You can look up spotted dick.
It's very rich
on the company computers. You won't get in trouble. It's a dessert. I'm not kidding.
I did there, Randy?
Yeah. It is very rich. Yes.
Walter Mellon says eggs are awesome. Deviled eggs are the best version of eggs. I'll continue to buy them if they're expensive. I will take my whistle now. No. This is a egg-free pun zone at this moment.
Whistle-free zone for eggs.
Too many of them have gone flying. So.
Oh yeah.
Jeffrey Harry says I can eat a lot of eggs in one helping. Once I had a 7-egg omelet in Cancun. Well, that's not hard to do. Yeah, 7 eggs is not hard to do for an omelet.
Easy. When I was on vacation, I actually had 7 pancakes in one sitting, 8 pieces of bacon, and 4 eggs.
Okay, so how big were the pancakes? Were they little
big
pancakes? Were they the big pancakes?
They were like average size. I was just really
and where were you?
The pancakes. I was in St. Simons Island, Georgia. It was awesome.
So don't eat like that, like in front of poor people in poor countries. You know what I mean? Don't go to a resort and sit there and just because like that at some point somebody's going to snap and murder you.
Yeah, you're right.
For eating like an American.
Practical. Yeah, that's something Americans should know. all Americans should know. So you're right. That's very practical advice.
Just the Tip says, try this sometimes. 4 eggs, sunny side up, and when they get close to done, add onions, diced bacon, and cheese. Then flip the eggs onto each other. Sunny side omelet. That's interesting.
Very interesting.
That is a hybrid of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am intrigued.
Yeah. Intriguing.
Glass Optimist says, not big on the blood sausage myself, so Triple H can have it. Have smoked eggs before. They turned out well, really picked up the smoke flavor. I need to work on how long to leave them in there. Overcooked them last time. Hey, with everything you cook and you learn how to cook, takes a little practice. You aren't always going to get it right the first time.
No, you're not. It does take practice.
How do you feel about brown eggs? I don't care if the egg is white or brown. It doesn't make a difference to me. If you have chickens at a farm, a lot of times they are multitudes of colors and the eggs are the same eggs. It doesn't matter. But you're shaking your head because you don't like, is that because you're from Tennessee and you're racist? Or?
I thought you were saying like the eggs turn out. Like the eggs after you cook them turn out to be a little brown. You're talking about the eggs
burnt
themselves.
Eggs.
I was like, why do you guys like that? No, you're talking about the brown eggs.
Brown.
Some people. I mean, I've seen it.
The shells, you dope.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Someone.
Well, that's somebody don't know how to cook.
Yeah, no, that's true. But brown eggs, there's nothing wrong with that. Also, Jeffrey, I don't know if you've noticed this. The way you say eggs, you say it like with an A. And everyone, my girlfriend does this too, because she's from the Pacific Northwest.
It's an egg.
Everyone says it that way in the Pacific Northwest.
What's wrong with egg?
Yeah, see it, Randy? You see what I'm talking about?
You say egg?
No.
Yeah.
How do you say egg then?
You say egg. I say egg.
Egg.
Egg. Egg. You said egg. I feel like that's
nobody
egg?
Has been confused on the text line.
You know what?
What's this egg he's talking about?
Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe I'm crazy.
Egg.
But I heard it, and it sounded like he was saying egg.
Do you know which came first, the chicken or the egg?
What'd you say? The egg.
You say egg? What do you say, Randy?
Egg.
I never get involved in this conversation because there is no right answer.
The egg it beats chicken by a couple million years.
Okay.
A couple 100 million years, actually.
All right.
Unless you're specifically talking about the chicken egg, and then it gets a little bit cloudy because chickens likely evolved from a subspecies of red jungle fowl many thousands of years ago. And at some point around domestication, the last ancestor of modern chickens would have laid an egg containing an embryo with enough genetic differences to be distinct, and then creating what we know as the chicken. So the egg would become before the actual chickens the way we know them now.
Wow, you sounded very sophisticated when saying that.
Wow.
I was impressed.
Delicious says, you weirdos need to stop the nonsense. Scrambled or fried is the only way to eat eggs. No, it's not, Delicious. Don't tell us how to eat our eggs.
What gatekeeping?
I like poached eggs. I like when you have the eggs Benedict. I like that.
Yep.
There's
I don't think I've ever
had.
Ways. I don't think I've ever had eggs Benedict.
Have you not, Randy?
I don't think I ever have.
So good.
Benedict.
So you get the English muffin, and then you get a slice of ham, and then you get the sort of poached, sort of. It's like the egg, the yolk is still in there, but it goes on the top, and then you smother that baby with hollandaise sauce.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I should probably do that. That's one thing I should do. I'm 63 now. It's time. It is high time that I have eggs Benedict.
Here's what we do. If you can find your way down one of these days to the station, we can meet up. We'll go over to IHOP or Denny's, and we will get you the eggs Benedict.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Definitely have breakfast for lunch. I'm all about breakfast for lunch.
I will be there. Me too.
Okay.
Walter Mellon says, is this a Canadian show all of a sudden? I thought we were talking about eggs. Now I hear we're talking about eggs. No, Harris is just being picky. Chief Skull says, you get an ostrich egg from that ostrich farm on the way to Tucson there. I don't want an ostrich
Why
egg.
do I want to have an ostrich egg?
Why do I want to go to Tucson? Also,
that's even worse.
Yeah. See,
I can. There's plenty of places you can go to a public restroom here to smell urine like that.
Sure,
if you feel like you need to have the Tucson experience, just go into a Nancy Park bathroom, take a big whiff. There you are, Tucson.
Tucson.
Yep.
Tank Blood says, "Don't forget the hot sauce." Oh, some people don't forget the gravy.
Hot sauce on eggs. I don't I've never been about
You
it.
don't like the Tabasco sauce?
No, not on
Or the
eggs.
Cholula on there?
Cholula,
Not on eggs. The
Tapatio.
only thing I like is salt and sometimes cheese. I like my eggs very traditional.
Just a tip says, when I was homesteading, I raised chickens for meat and eggs. If you don't have a strong rooster, you don't have anything. A good rooster will keep even those low-life beavers from stealing eggs. Where the hell were you homesteading that there were beavers? Because that's got to be in the Pacific Northwest, right? I'll be honest, I don't know where else beavers are other than Pacific Northwest, but I'm sure they're everywhere.
Nevada,
anyway,
Hoover Dam.
Okay, we spent way too much time talking about eggs. I feel like this has been an egg-heavy beginning of the show. Last Optimist says the eggshell is the color of the chicken. That's not true.
No,
that's not true.
No, not true.
He says the yolk takes on the color of the hen's food. Feed them spinach, get green eggs for your ham.
No.
Yeah, I don't believe anything you just said last time.
No.
Of course, now Navy Brad wants to take us a different direction.
Okay.
And I gotta be honest, it's sad, but it's not that sad because the dude was 87. He said it's with a heavy heart that we learn that Vikings great Jim Marshall has passed away. Jim Marshall.
That's too bad.
The man. That dude was manly. That was the epitome of a real man right there. But he for decades had the record of the most consecutive games played. He was an Iron Man. Lived to 87. So, hey, good job, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Life well lived. He was with the Vikings since their inaugural season back in 1961. Played every game right after that. He had a record of 282 consecutive games. 270 of those were with the Vikings, and he retired in 1979. And then that little winky, sending Brett Favre broke that record. So that sucked. But anyway,
yeah.
He was just a beast.
Now, wasn't it Jim Marshall that scooped up the fumble and took it back the opposite way of where he was supposed to go? He scooped it up and he scored a touchdown for the other team.
Yeah, that's right. That was him. 1964. He picked up a fumble. He's like, woo, and nobody's trying to stop me. Well, there's a reason for that. You just scored for the 49ers.
The 49er. I was trying to think of the other team. Yeah.
But that's okay because the rest of his career was so damn good. All you could do is give him a little good-natured ribbon for that. But he earned every accolade that he could possibly get after that.
Yeah.
And before that.
Yeah, sure.
He was a stud. He was. I mean, it's a shame those Vikings teams didn't win a Super Bowl because they were.
Yeah,
so
he went to
close.
4 Super Bowls,
4 straight Super Bowls.
How many Super Bowls do the Vikings have right now?
0. They've won 0.
I'm saying that just because Donnie came on the text line. But I'm sorry, Navy Brad, for you. And Chief Skull says, "Rest in peace, Jim Marshall."
Yeah, Purple People Eaters, man. Him and Alan Page and John Randall. Oh my gosh, that D-line was loaded.
Oh yeah.
Wish they had won it. Fran Tarkenton under center, the birth of the mobile quarterback. Yeah, it was a fun team to watch back then, I'm sure.
Donnie says, "Shut your mouth." No, Donnie.
Donnie, you still owe me a pizza.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
Don't come around here unless you're did you guys get hooked up on the Twitter for him to give you the money for the pizza?
At the moment, I have not yet. I was waiting to get his Twitter handle. He hasn't put it in the chat.
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Fighting Wampa says back in the day, Christie's had a lot of beavers.
Wow.
Who? Last Optimist says, I need to poach an egg by stirring some simmering water and cracking the egg into the center of a whirlpool. That looks like a fun process. Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right.
Just a Tip says, very few people brought up that wrong way touchdown to his face, I bet. That is a good point.
Yeah, I had someone.
Unless you were as big as him.
When I was in high school, I had someone, I remember we in this tournament in Tennessee. It was basketball, and he took the tip off, and he literally ran it to the wrong goal, and he tried to shoot a layup, and he missed it.
I like how Harris gave me the sign to take a break and then told a long story right after.
sorry. It just reminded me of it. And I remember being on the bench laughing so hard, and my coach like breaking his clipboard in between his knees, like slamming his glasses. Yep.
Navy Brad says the Purple People Eaters were Jim Marshall, Alan Page, Carl Eller, and Gary Larson.
Yeah.
Gary Larson, who, by the way, does the Far Side cartoons. All right, It's time for that break. We'll come back, and we got more to talk about. It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
All systems go. Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Forgot something inside or picking up food from the store? Never leave a child in a car. In Arizona, heat stroke can happen in seconds. Temperatures can rise 20 degrees in just 10 minutes, making a vehicle dangerously hot. Heat stroke can happen even in the shade or when it's below 60 degrees outside. Once you park, always remember to stop, look, and lock. Visit heatstroke.az.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Your best plan to retire might be right under your roof. This is Rob Canier, and for over 20 years, I've helped people discover how they can utilize a portion of their equity in their home as a coordinated strategy in retirement planning, thus creating additional monthly cash flow, paying less taxes, and making their retirement assets last longer. This is a safe and proven retirement strategy for qualified homeowners age 62 and older. All you have to do is reverse your thinking. Call me, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773.
We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, The Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top-line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. T-Licious takes issue with Harris, saying Randall was not a purple people eater. Come on, new guy.
No, he's right. I actually thought that John Randall came in the 80s, and I got him mixed up with someone else. John Randall came in the 90s. I actually noticed that as soon as I said it, like, oh my gosh, I just said John Randall. And so
you can't get away with nothing around here.
You can, man. No. They're right, though. Like, I'll give him that.
Failure, Harris. Failure.
I know, man. I know. I can't believe I made that mistake. But I know about the purple people eaters. Minor slip there.
So Navy Brad has a guess for the June muscle car that is right there behind me. I'm going to say your guess is incorrect, Navy Brad, but I'm not going to say what your guess is. I want Randy to take a shot at that. And I thought almost the same thing you did, Navy Brad. So let's see what Randy comes up with. What do you think this beaut of a car is here?
It looks like a Pontiac GTO convertible.
That is exactly what Navy Brad said, but guess what it is?
It's not.
It's a Firebird.
It's a Firebird.
Just straight up Firebird.
Wow.
And it's in 1969. You both
69. Well, I was
close,
going
but
69.
no cigar.
Yeah. Wow.
So there you go.
Okay. All right.
I'll be honest. I don't ever think I want to own a muscle car that's a convertible. I don't want.
I can see that. I understand.
You don't want to. Why don't you want a convertible?
If I roll that bad boy, I'd kind of like a roof to protect me from getting squished. I don't feel the need to be decapitated. Just the Tip says the LA Rams had a defense name back when there was a Purple People Eaters. What? They had a name for their defense back then?
Oh my gosh. No, I think he's on to something. They did have a name.
Well, I'll let you look that up. Firefarter says the NFL is generally not allowed to have games on Friday night. I don't know why. Okay. Why? Firefarter, why are you bringing this up right now? This is something we talked about like a week ago.
The NFL having games on Friday night?
Yeah. And we actually said that there was actual legislation and laws against that. But Firefarter, I guess, listening to an old podcast, but texting in on like it's a new show, says the NFL is generally not allowed to have games on Friday night during the regular season due to provision in the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961. This act limits professional football games on Friday nights after 6 p.m. and all day on Saturday. Particularly from the second weekend of September to the second weekend of December, if there are high school or college games taking place within 75 miles of said NFL team.
Yep. It was to prevent, I think, a monopoly back then. So this has been a thing. Yeah.
That's a dumb law. I'm just going to say
I actually don't think it is.
It's a dumb law.
Because it allows the college game the ability to thrive on Saturdays, and it allows the high school game the ability to thrive on Fridays. There's a lot of variety. If it weren't for that law, the NFL would take over every single day.
Here's where that law might have made sense: when there were 3 channels, when there were 3 networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS. Now there are so many different ways to get whatever you want that seems unnecessary for something like that to exist.
If you were a football fan, like all of it, like high school, college, and NFL, and your NFL is overlapping with college and it's overlapping with high school, well, that's going to hurt the product a lot in ways because you're hurting the college and you're hurting the high school product, which a lot of people who prefer the college game over the pro game will watch the pro game because they'll see college stars that they resonated with at their schools and tune in. That's why the NFL draft is so much more popular than any other draft in any sport. So
I have a 2-word rebuttal.
Yep.
Boo-hoo.
Well, I mean, the law is still in act, and it's probably, I'd bet it's here to stay.
Well, it doesn't matter. The Saturday games that we get are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, I don't want the NFL on every day.
Nor do I.
I already take up my entire Sunday and every Monday and Thursday night with it. So if we had it spread out all over the place too much, I would never, ever get anything done or have any other life than football during the season.
Yep.
But I just don't like the government trying to tell us when we can do things and when we can't. And if it's to protect, the poor listen, I got news for you. I ain't watching high school games on Friday now. I have no reason to watch them except for when I watch my own son play. Once he's done, what kind of a weirdo am I going to be to keep going to the games?
Well, there are parts of the country where high school teams are just like the only game in town.
Then you live in a sad place and you should move.
It might be a sad place and people maybe can't move and they have a life there and they want They want to be able to watch those high school games. And if the NFL's on, guess what? It's gonna trump those games, and nobody's gonna watch them. And then
nobody watched high school games on TV at any point. You go to the games if you have somebody involved.
No, I don't know.
If you're a teacher, if you're a parent, if you are related to somebody, or it's just a very small amount of people who go to the high school football games. Not in the students. It's really for the students more than anything.
Oh, not in the small towns in Texas.
Well, then you're just pathetic.
Oklahoma.
And, I want to see your search history because I think you might be a pedo. What are you doing going out and sitting there with your 38-year-old leather jacket? Like, go Bears. It's just, come on, man.
Yeah.
The only reason to go is if you have kids or if you're a teacher. Outside of that, what are you doing?
I think Texas, once you go to states, like Randy was saying, Texas and Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, all those other
Oklahoma.
States. You could say Oklahoma, but all of them, the culture is so ingrained in what they do.
You just listed off a bunch of places I would never want to live.
Yeah.
You're not making a point here.
Yeah. Well, California has a lot of great, SoCal has a lot of great high school football games that people go to. It's pretty popular there.
And if you want to go. But if you were going to go to those games and suddenly there's an NFL game on that Friday night, you're still going to go to that game because that is your passion. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you got to make everybody else wait.
I just listed California, but then I realized you don't want to live in California either.
No,
so it's like, what am I doing? Yeah. I think the product's better when they're not competing against each other as much. I think when the NFL is able to use college football instead of compete with it, it's going to help the product a lot. That's why I believe in it. Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you, Randy.
I don't care. I just don't. Bruno Baller says Ohio and Pennsylvania are also big on high school football.
Oh, yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're huge into it. Ohio, especially.
Fish Tank says my relationships would never make it if football was on every night. A lot of our relationships might suffer if that were the case.
Yeah.
Navy Brad says the Rams defense, I think, was the fearsome foursome.
Yeah, I said that earlier. They're the fear in the late 60s.
King of Kittens also says fearsome foursome.
Yeah.
Quiet Cannon says, what about Doomsday and Too Tall? They were pretty famous.
Doomsday was the Dallas defense. Too Tall Jones. Yeah. Randy White. Bob Lilly. Guys like that. Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on here? I just got to tell you, they buried Jim Irsay finally.
Did they?
Yeah, they just got around to it. I don't know if they forgot or
were they afraid with all the stuff in his body he was going to kill the grass around there at the cemetery? Or
no, I don't know if he was if he was baked, then he might have been baked. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he was already embalmed. He had so many chemicals in his body. I mean, they didn't have to embalm him.
Yeah,
a lot of chemicals.
But I guess he had a very nice funeral. John Cougar Mellencamp played Pink Houses because that's what he said. He asked for this song to be played, and I'm like, sure he did. Whatever.
Interesting.
And then Tony Dungy was there, and Chuck Pagano, Frank Reich, Shane Steichen, and Chris Ballard, and that bastard Ryan Grigson. How dare you show your face? How dare you show your face? And Ryan Grigson, you might be part of the reason he did the drugs. Do you ever think of that? Your greasy ass haired self should have never showed up. You have no business being there. Wow. Hate me some Ryan Grigson.
Wow.
And so yeah, it was nice. It was a nice ceremony.
Did Bruce Arians show up? Was he there too?
He wasn't on the list that I read, but I would have been surprised if he wasn't.
Yeah, Uncle Bruce.
Yeah. He was a great friend to the Colts.
You and Bruce Arians sort of look alike, Randy. Now that I think about it, you guys look. He's a good-looking guy. So you guys look.
Bruce Arians,
he's a great mind.
No, Randy looks healthy. Bruce Arians, there's not a day I've seen him where he looks healthy. Speaking of not looking healthy, the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau. Thibodeau. I don't know. All I know is finally he'll have time to care for those 7 strands of hair that he's been just nursing for all this time.
Hanging on for
Yeah, look, if this ever happens to me, guys, make me the promise. And I start doing the 7 hair comb over. Will you just talk some sense into me and help me get a razor and just cut them off?
I'll
just cut the damn things off. Give up. You're bald headed. Everybody knows it. Just go ahead and buzz it close and just get rid of them. Don't try to fake it. Nobody is fooled by your comb over.
I would get one of them little glove things that the bald guys rub all over their head to get. I just come up behind you and go, and then that'd be over.
There we go. Thank you.
Just a Tip says, I don't know what you're saying there, Just a Tip. Firefighter says, just realized I'm listening to the podcast on Spotify and not the live stream. He says, please ignore my last text. I feel like Ringless Joe now. Yes, Firefighter, I kind of put that together, but thank you for the input. Was it a good show? I feel like it was a good show you're listening to. You might want to go back to it. I don't know. Navy Brad says, when I pass, I hope they play Rush's album 2112.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's a good choice.
2112. I never heard of that.
You haven't heard 2112 by Rush?
I never heard of it either.
Really? Makes 2 of us. Was it like a really old? Was it like 70s?
It was one of the. You have these guys that have these albums that are the definition of a group. 2112 by Rush.
No. I probably know some songs off of it.
Now I know exactly who you're talking
2112 by Rush. You guys are just playing.
They don't do albums like they used to. You know what I mean?
No,
they don't.
It's like singles and whatever. For me, my generation, it was MTV videos and some good albums and stuff. But for Randy, it was all about just each album that came out, and those were some bangers for sure.
Oh yeah.
Fighting Wampa says, I read that Jim Irsay had $1 billion guitar collection. That is amazing. Really, $1 billion? I knew he had a lot, like John Lennon's guitar and all these like super duper expensive memorabilia. About $1 billion? I don't know about $1 billion.
I understand that he had a what's his name? The Beatle that wrote Imagine. John Lennon's piano.
Yes, I think I heard
he
that
wrote
too, yeah.
Imagine.
Oh. And then didn't Lady Gaga play that for something? I don't know. Just a Tip says Rush was quintessential glam techno virtuoso. 2012 was their best.
I don't know about their best.
2112.
But 2112 was a defining album for Rush. Before 2112, they just were not. They were just not noticed. They were sort of an underground band. Sort of a off-kilter band. But when they came out with 2112, it was a defining moment for Rush back in the 1976.
What was the main single from that album?
The main single from 2112?
Yeah.
2112.
Okay, we're going to take a break then. Why don't you have 2112 ready for us when we come back, Randy?
Okay, fine.
I have no idea what that song is.
I have 2112 for you.
Okay. We'll do that when we come back, but we also need to do more than just mention Tom Thibodeau's been fired. I think we need to discuss this. And I'm worried about something.
Mm-hmm.
You already know what I'm worried about, right?
Him coming to Phoenix?
Yeah.
Worried about that?
I don't know.
I think that would be a blessing.
Let's talk about it when we come back. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boats. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-2085. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-2085 or biglou.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Life can throw a lot your way. For some, that includes first episode psychosis, or FEP. It can feel overwhelming, like hearing or seeing things that aren't there, or feeling disconnected from reality. The good news? FEP can be treated. Recovery can include medication, therapy, and support from peers. There are programs across Arizona with people who understand and are ready to walk with you. It all starts with one click. Visit learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MacForce, working to build healthier communities.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
This is the most famous song?
Up to 2112. This is 2112. Yeah, it's a 20-minute overture.
Oh, dear God. How long can they sing?
Oh, no. It's
20 minutes?
Oh, it's 20 minutes long, yeah.
I feel like you could have queued it up to the part that mattered.
Oh, he only sings in one part of it. It's only about a minute long where he sings.
This is a famous song?
Oh,
he
my
speaks
God, yes.
of all crap.
This is when they would go out in concert, this would be Neil Peart would do the drum solo on this song here.
Can you fast forward it to a part I might recognize?
I don't know that it, see.
Oh, I like that.
He speaks the bull crap.
The drum
I've
solo
never heard
was
this in my life.
That was a
You've
tough
never
drum
heard this ever?
Never heard it.
Jeff Gunn.
Listen, I'm a little younger than you.
Me too, Jeffrey.
Okay. And now a shredding guitar solo coming up from Eric Lightson.
Why not? What is the song even about?
2112.
The year 2112? Or?
I don't have any idea. Here you go. And the trees. Well, here you go. There you go. This is the.
So this sounds so 70s.
Oh, it is 1976.
Yeah. I think I'm good.
You haven't heard this before?
No, I think we're good.
Did you hear that drum fill right there? Did you hear that?
I heard it.
I
It's majestic, and I'm sure it was great in concert, but
There you go. 2112. I can't
Oh,
believe
that singing
the whole
was
thing
awesome.
Was, oh, yeah. That's the hit off the album.
Moist One says
good.
Geddy Lee.
Oh yeah. Geddy Lee.
LA Kid says Rush might be one of the most overrated bands of all time. This sounds like crap, and they're Canadian too, just like Nickelback.
Bite your tongues. Bite your tongue.
Nickelback
All
slander.
2 of them.
For no apparent reason, King Kitten says, "Suck it, Ralph." And 2112 is a concept album whose first side told a story about the year 2112, story of dystopian future where a young man rediscovers music in a world where it's been suppressed by a totalitarian regime, the Solar Federation.
Wow.
There was a lot of drugs. That's, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Fighting Wampa says, Irsay had $1 billion guitar collection. The article said his collection was about $1 billion for the guitars he had, and they all wept when he died. You just made that part up. Swazman says, Jeffrey, remember what Bobby Knight said he wanted people to do to him when he passed away? Well, by the way, I got your emails regarding Fantasy Football League, so thanks for the re-invite. How are those two things connected? Are you trying? I thought you were about to tell me to kiss your ass. I thought that's what that was. Donnie says, I hope Jim Irsay died happy knowing he tanked for 2 generational quarterbacks in his lifetime. It worked. So yeah, I don't think he was upset about it.
Yeah.
It was probably his idea.
I'm trying to look what Bobby Knight asked for when he passed away.
He wanted to be buried upside down so everybody could kiss his ass.
Are you serious?
That was it. How do you not know that?
I don't know. I didn't know that. Huh?
Wow. Mr. Roboto says, I heard that Rush song played in the basement of my college dorm by a garage band practicing. They also played Back in Black by Air Supply. Kidding, it was AC/DC, but it did. It really happened there. He says, I was doing my laundry while they were playing. LA Kid says, I think Randy might secretly be Canadian. Cheering for the Edmonton Oilers, playing Rush. I see Canadian propaganda that Randy is pushing. Yeah, but it's polite. So wait a minute.
Look at him.
He might be,
but Canadian.
And he's trying to also misdirect everybody to thinking I'm Canadian. It's exactly what a Canadian spy would do, Randy. See how he's not denying it?
Who threw me off the roof again?
Are you lying to us, Randy? Are you
probably lying about getting thrown off the roof, too?
Sure. It was just Jeffrey and I on the roof, and I was unceremoniously
but I was
removed
still on the
from
roof. So that should tell you everything you need to know there.
Yes.
King Kitten says, suck it, Ralph. Suck it, LA Kid. Rush rules. Silver Pop says, how about you guys rush to turn that sound off? Mr. Wilbur says, oh, in all these years, I thought Bobby Knight was buried face down so people could park their bikes. That would also be effective, I think, right there. Can we talk about the Knicks firing Tom Thibodeau?
We can talk about it.
First, how the hell do you really pronounce his name?
Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, I did say it right.
Yeah, you said it right.
Thibodeau. Well, for 5 seasons, he was the coach of the Knicks, and the team got remarkably better. They had a pretty good run this year.
Yep.
So they decided to fire him. I don't understand this.
Nope.
Why did they fire Tom Thibodeau?
It's a horrible move. Like, this is a move that they're going to be looking
What do they
back.
think they're achieving? Or is there some unemployed coach that they're like, that guy could get us the rest of the way? Because that has to be that sort of a thought process. Because why else would you fire the guy who has helped direct you from worst to almost first in 5 years?
Some people need to understand who they are and what they were before a certain guy got there. What were the Knicks before Tom Thibodeau got to New York?
A joke.
They were poverty. They were the definition of a poverty franchise looking for something and getting nothing.
Why do you think everybody wanted Dolan fired? I'm not fired, but to sell the team. Everybody was always going after the owner of the Knicks, and the owner of the Knicks was chucking people out. Even who's the player, the former player? Oakley? Was it Oakley?
Charles Oakley.
Yeah, he got banned because he was
did get banned.
You know, so the Knicks have been a mess for quite some time. Things just start getting good, so they fire Thibodeau.
They fire him after an Eastern Conference Finals appearance. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Eastern Conference. Who are you going to get that's better than him? This is also Tibbs. Wherever he goes, the team wins. Like, I remember those Bulls teams when Derrick Rose would tore his ACL and everyone was like, oh my gosh, they're done. and they were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, had the best record, won over 60 games with like Luol Deng as his best player. Wherever he goes, the teams win. And so them getting rid of him, because the Knicks, a lot of NBA teams don't have these days. Knicks had a system and an identity. And every single coach, I mentioned this to Phil, every single coach that was alive in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals had been there for at least 4 years. So what we're seeing is coaches who are able to be there long enough to establish systems are able to get a lot of success. Nowadays.
You don't have to keep telling us what you've said. To
and
other
this,
people, right?
I'm just reminding the fourth dimension.
They don't care. No, nobody cares.
Yeah,
you don't have to do that. That's
anyway, it goes to say you just got rid of all of that, and you have to start over with a new system.
He's not coming here.
Tibbs?
Would you come here after they fire a championship coach and a championship coach, and they have fired every once a year, fire a coach? There's no reason for it, unless he's like, if I do go to the Suns and it works, then it's great. If it doesn't, I walk out of there with a giant suitcase of money.
This is what bugs me. One thing about the NBA too is coaches have nothing to stand on. Nothing. Like they can't establish systems, and it's hurting the game. And a lot of times we see one guy dribbling and then 4 guys sitting there in the corner. It's like what D'Antoni did with the Rockets in the late 2010s, how they advance analytics and all of that. Now every team just tries to do it, and there's no cutting, there's no off-ball movement, a lot of standing around, because teams can't establish systems because there's so much coach turnover. The Knicks had that, and then they ruined it. I hate this, man. Terrible look for basketball and for the NBA. I loathe it.
Moise one says Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns Jr. III probably crying that they were pushed too hard. Oh, you think the players had something to do with this?
I don't know if they did. There's no way.
Mr. Robato says, I heard Giannis wouldn't go to New York with Thibodeau as coach. Either way, Knicks are throwing money down a hole. New York, yay. Hefty Lefty says, they saw Mike Malone on the open market. I wondered about that, but
what?
Why would they do that?
Why would you get rid of an entire system that has worked, by the way, for years to get a new one?
Firefighter says, I think Harris has a new BFF. Every other minute, he says how I was talking with Phil about this, or I was on that show 2 weeks ago. It was just Phil and I, and some Barbie dolls, blah, blah, blah. Get a room, you two.
First off, there are no Barbie dolls. I'm not a dog.
You see how there was no surprise on my face when he said there was? I believed him.
No, there wasn't. I am not a doll guy. Dolls freak me out, man. I cannot be near them ever. They
So do the bobbleheads in the studio, does that creep you out?
No, not really.
Do you see the giant?
I do. I see him. I'm looking at him. The Colts one and the Cardinals one.
Donnie says, I'm not the biggest Tibbs guy since he coached the Wolves, but he does run his players into the ground everywhere he goes. That said, the Knicks are a horribly run organization.
Tibbs also took Minnesota to the playoffs when he got there for the first time in oh my goodness, I don't even know how long it was, since 2004, I'm going to guess, 12 years. So yeah, Tibbs in Minnesota, it wasn't as great as you could have expected it to be, but it also could have been worse. In New York and Chicago, he was a slam dunk.
Can I ask a question? I
of course,
mean this,
Randy.
With all due respect, and please help me understand here, but are these basketball players getting paid lots and lots of money, gobs and gobs of money?
Lots of money.
And did I just hear somebody say that this coach, Tom Thibodeau, runs his players into the ground? You mean like he coaches them hard?
Wow, makes them practice?
Good point, Randy.
So he's making them practice while they earn all these gobs and gobs of money? Is that what I'm hearing?
That bastard.
How dare him be a head coach and expect his players to give 110%? How dare him?
He'd be a great college coach, for the record. Thibodeau?
Holy moly. Last Optimist says that Thibodeau has $30 million due from the Knicks. Any job he takes now cuts into what the Knicks owe him. Reading lots of people proposing wacky trade requests to get Cat to Phoenix and KD out. Cat and Booker are friends, by the way. Yeah, we were going to talk about that here in a minute. And that is a true statement. They were college roommates.
Kentucky, yeah.
And pals. So let's talk about those things too when we come back. So Thibodeau is going bye-bye from the Knicks. Where will he end up next? Lots of conversations. The Hawks, the Timberwolves, the Knicks. Everybody is trying to figure out a way to trade for Kevin Durant. Like he's the savior of whatever situation they're looking at.
Yep. Yeah.
Which I don't know if I would agree with that, but hey, good for the Suns if they believe it. That's all I care about.
Yep.
Hefty Lefty says Tibbs wins, but he doesn't win at all. I think it's probably a dumb move on their part because they have been improving year after year. That's true. That's true. Let's talk about it more when we come back. Hour 2 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-2085. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-2085 or biglou.com.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
First episode psychosis is no joke. And neither is getting help as soon as symptoms show up. Early treatment gives you a better chance at feeling like yourself again. If you are showing signs, like having hallucinations or trouble thinking clearly, don't wait. Counseling, medication, and support from loved ones can slow down the effects of psychosis before it's too late. Speak with your doctor today and visit learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MadForce, working to build healthier communities.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time
for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Harris Hicks in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, talking about how the Knicks have fired Tom Thibodeau after 5 years and a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I don't know. I don't get it. they're either idiots or they have a very good idea. I honestly don't know why they did this, but Sharp Cat says, while the Knicks have won a couple of championships back in the 70s, I almost put them in the same category as the Suns and Clippers. Well, that wasn't very nice.
The Suns, I don't know about the Clippers. The Suns have been better. They've been better than the Knicks these last 40, 50 years. They've been substantially better, actually. Heck, before Tibbs got to New York, they hadn't had a winning season in 7 years. 7 years.
Well, so the Suns
can't stand it.
Are sitting around without a coach. Do you think now the Suns will suddenly pause because they had a couple of guys and everybody was saying it was going to be Ott or who was the other guy? I don't
Bryant.
know. Yeah, Bryant. That's right. Kobe Bryant or
Johnny
Greg
Bryant.
Ott.
Johnny
I don't know
Bryant.
who the other guy is. I don't know their names. Never even heard of them, to be honest.
Kobe was available. I didn't even realize that.
Or is it his wife?
Learn
Vanessa
something the other
Bryant.
day.
Okay. All right.
By the way, she came out and she's like, hey, why are people trying to say I'm pregnant? She's like, I am not pregnant. What's wrong with you people? Anyway,
trying to make Kobe angry or?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I think she has probably a lifetime of grace in that department, if you know what I mean. But
yeah.
So
I catch your drift, Jeffrey.
Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Thibodeau.
I do not think he'll want to be coaching the Suns, but then again, maybe he will, because I go back and forth. One part is, hey, listen, you come in here and you get it done. You are a hero. You're a made man. And of course, Ishbia will play stupid money, no matter what. So, you're going to walk away with a suitcase of cash one way or the other. Do you think anybody hold it against Mike Malone? Is anybody holding it against any of the guys who have coached here in the past?
That have coached in Phoenix?
Yeah, and then got fired after 1 year. I don't think anybody is blaming those guys.
Mike Malone didn't come here, right? I mean, it was old what's his name from Douglas, who was the Bucks. Mike Malone didn't come here.
Budenholzer.
Right?
Budenholzer is who I meant. Sorry.
That's it.
I think that Ishbia should be chomping at the bit to go after Thibodeau. I think he fixes the Suns' biggest issue these last 3 years, which has been on the defensive end completely. Last year, 23rd in defense, 23rd, 7th most points allowed in the NBA, 117 points per game allowed. That's why they've lost. The Knicks 2 years ago, I will say now, had a top 5 defense. Last year, they had a top 10 defense. Those Chicago Bulls teams consistently had the best defense in the NBA. Defensive player of the years he's coached, all defense guys, Taj Gibson, Joakim Noah, dudes at the Knicks too. Where he goes, the defense travels with him. He would solve the Suns' glaring, I would call it glaring issue that has held them back from being not just a championship contender, but a playoff team, is that their defense is an average. It's below average. Thibodeau would make that defense good.
So, yeah, Mike Budenholzer was the last one. Sorry, I got him confused with Mike Malone.
I knew what you meant.
Wondered if maybe we'd end up with Mike Malone.
Yeah.
Before that, Frank Vogel. Before that, Monty Williams for 4 years. And then Igor Koskov, Jay Triano. I don't even remember that guy. He did not do well. Neither did Igor Koskov. But Monty Williams had a great record with the Suns, and so they decided, let's fire him. Let's fire Frank Vogel. Let's fire Mike Budenholzer, and so now here we are. So I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know. I mean, what's going to happen with the Suns? Who's most likely? Because the Suns are talking a couple of no names. I mean, I know in the NBA they're respected and they're probably smart guys, and it's probably time for them to be a coach. Blah, 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 blah. But we got some superstar coaches sitting there. If Thibodeau is this great defensive coach, he would fit exactly what the Suns need. Mike Malone also seems like the kind of coach that could do well by the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
I mean, why are we not talking? Did you ever hear one whisper that the Suns had talked to Mike Malone? I didn't.
Nope. Honestly, the only thing I heard was they were down to 2 guys, and it was Ott and Johnny Bryant.
Then I don't think they're going to consider Thibodeau.
I think I think they should be.
I think they
Ishbia
should slam on the
calling
brakes
him
on
on the
everything
phone
and do
50 times. I think that's exactly what should happen because this Thibodeau literally fixes their most glaring issue. Like he fixes it. And those other guys, Johnny Bryant, they both came from Kenny Atkinson, who was the coach of the year of the NBA this year. I believe it was well deserved. They've worked under him for a while. Johnny Bryant, he was also worked with Quinn Snyder. Funny enough, he was an assistant under Tibbs at the Knicks for a while. So he at least has that. He's worked with Damian Lillard privately. I think Jordan Ott is more of a connection, maybe. He's got the Michigan State background. I know you guys talked about that. He got to start as a video coordinator, actually. So that's interesting. But I think Tibbs is the way to go here. I don't even think it's a discussion.
Who else is going to be coming after him?
A lot of teams.
Who are the Suns going to have to compete against? Which teams specifically are coachless right now that are a better place for him to go? Does anybody seem like a better team than the Suns?
Maybe. Well, the Nuggets did have the Grizzlies are definitely one that could be going after him. But
how are they better than the Suns?
How are they better than the Suns? The Grizzlies? They just had a better season.
Okay, no, it's not about that. There's a lot of factors that a coach is going to look at before he decides to go coach a team.
Yeah.
Is the owner willing to spend money and do things? Guess what? Ishbia almost insanely is. How's the weather? Is it a great place to live? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I think Phoenix ticks a lot of boxes. What kind of talent do they have? Are they willing to go out and get talent? Are they willing to do certain things? Yeah, they are. How are the Grizzlies a more attractive place than the Suns?
I think, honestly, Phoenix is one of the most attractive coaching jobs in the whole NBA.
That's sexy.
The reason for that is the owner. That's it. You asked me other possible competition. That's all I listed. You didn't say if they were going to be better competition or worse. I don't know if there is a more attractive opening.
Who do we got to worry about?
I don't know if there is
more.
Thibodeau,
who do we got to worry about?
Maybe the Kings could be one. That could for sure be a possibility. I mean, the Nuggets, they hired their interim. San Antonio, I mean, depends what they do with that. So honestly, man, Phoenix is the best coach opening right now.
So why are they talking to nobodies though? Mr. Roboto says, how would the Fourth Dimension feel about the Knicks changing their uniform colors and logo into something memorable rather than changing their coach? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Big George says, I agree with Harris. Bring Tibbs here to Phoenix. We need a real defensive-minded coach. And if you get rid of some of the guys on this team that don't do defense, okay. I think the Suns become a legitimate title contender in 5 years.
And I just realized the Grizzlies did hire their interim. And so that just dawned on me. So honestly, there isn't anybody.
Just a Tip says, ain't no defensive-minded coach going to win anything in Phoenix. History has proven this.
With who?
New owner, new situation, though.
With who? What defensive-minded coach are they talking about?
Just a Tip. What's the history behind that?
Yeah. What I'm curious because D'Antoni was not a defensive-minded coach at all. So maybe 70s and 90s is what he's referring to. I don't know. Tibbs would be, I think, it'd be a home run hire for them. Home run.
Quiet Cannon says, Thibodeau will not fix the Suns. He will not fit the Suns. This is a veteran team that doesn't want to run and play defense, and that is his style, Thibodeau's style. Well, listen, they're going to clear out some dudes. There will be trades. There will be new personnel here. So,
he'll get his guys.
You could get the guys you need if you want to do that. Silver Pop says, I believe it doesn't matter who the Suns select for a head coach. It's about the roster. Suns roster has no role players. Heck, they don't even have a player who wants to step up and be a leader. You can get Popovich or Riley to coach this squad, and it'll get the exact same results. Well, the roster is going to change, Silver Pop, so what you saw is not what you will see. Hefty Lefty says Spurs have a better roster for a coach to go in and build a culture and grow like Tibbs would want to do. High-end young talent there.
They do, but do they have an owner that's willing to go over the second tax apron and give you every single bit of resources possible. That's intriguing.
Ishbia says he'll go over the 8th tax apron.
Yeah, that's really intriguing.
I just made that up. I don't know if that's true.
The 8th, no, that's not true. There is no 8th tax apron. So
if there was, he would find it.
He would find a way. He would find a way.
So yeah. I don't know. I don't know what we are going to end up with, but let's talk about the other pressing matter is the Kevin Durant sweepstakes that everybody's trying to enter. The Hawks have been said to be exploring certain things. The Timberwolves have been, they've been poking around for Kevin Durant since February.
Yeah.
They were trying to get to him before the deadline, but they couldn't make that work. And ever since Durant and Anthony Edwards were on Team USA together, they're like, hey, there's something there. And they were saying that Minnesota made serious trade inquiries, but for whatever reason, nope. So the other thing is Karl Anthony Towns with the Knicks, they were talking about maybe doing a straight up trade. But here's the thing. The contracts are identical. They're about the exact same amount of money. And so what improvement do you get losing Kevin Durant and getting Karl Anthony Towns Jr. the third?
I don't know if you get a little bit of an improvement for the long term because Kevin Durant he's reaching his high 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get improvement there in the long term. But actually, there was a report that came out by Bleacher Report that the Suns have had to lower their price for Kevin Durant after what happened with Houston and Minnesota. Those teams, Phoenix has some leverage here because those teams, Minnesota, their issue is Oklahoma City double teamed, went after Anthony Edwards like crazy. And when he was cold, they did not have a guy after Anthony Edwards who could consistently be a great number 2 option for them. And you need that. Getting Kevin Durant would be that solution for them.
What would the Timberwolves give the Suns?
I think Jalen McDaniels is going to be a huge part in that. And, picks are a very big possibility. Maybe Randall, maybe you go Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Picks are going to be Phoenix's best friend here. Picks and young talent. And McDaniels and some picks is probably going to be the combination you're going to be looking at.
You know how mad I'm going to be? You know how mad I'm going to be? If the Suns trade with the Timberwolves, send Kevin Durant their way, and then they turn around and win a championship, you know how mad? I'll be happy for Chief Skull. I'll be happy for Navy Brad, but I'm going to block Donnie. You'll never hear from him on the text line again.
I don't blame you, man. I'd block Donnie too. Heck, I would.
Swazman says, who's out there, Jeffrey, for the Knicks to hire that's worth a damn? If the Knicks trade Brunson, New York will turn into the old movie Escape from New York and all the convicts run the streets.
Malone.
It's the Knicks. I don't know what their plan is. Doing what they're doing with the coach.
Did they go in the college?
Do
they go in the college ranks? Maybe. That's the only thing. Mike Malone, maybe an assistant. That's probably going to be where they go is an assistant. Heck, even Johnny Bryant, who's been talked about with the Suns, having that pedigree under Tibbs, maybe he's the guy. But they're making a grave mistake.
Yeah, the mistake has been made. So now what? Now what for the Phoenix Suns and everybody else? That's the question. 5 different teams trying to find a way to get Kevin Durant on their team. The Suns, if we're rebuilding, we have many, many needs. Get as much as you can get from whoever you can get it from, whatever helps the future. And we have to undo what Ishbia did when he got here, I guess. We had a nice core that we were building on, and they blew that crap up right there, trying to win immediately, and it didn't work. So whatever happens next, you got to get full value. The Suns don't want to give up Devin Booker, but I wonder if as they go through this process, trying to figure out what can we get for Durant? What can we do for this? What can we do for that? Where they may come to a point and be like, we have to get rid of Devin Booker to move forward and do what we need to do.
Maybe if they're reportedly lowering their price for Kevin Durant, though, that means they're more flexible to get not as much from Kevin Durant than they are to give up Devin Booker. So that's at least a sign that Devin Booker will probably stick around. I think based on Booker's intentions, based on what the team seems to want, what we've seen in reports, Devin Booker is likely to stick around Phoenix.
Well, all we can hope is they get a good coach that can make a difference and get us a leader. Got to have a leader.
Got to have it. You got to have it. Thibodeau is that guy, for the record.
Swazman says, great idea, Jeffrey. Trade Booker for Brunson. I never said that.
He never said that.
LA Kid says, bring Thibodeau to LA. Teach LeBron how to play some defense for once.
Could you
think LeBron's in a teachable mode?
Yeah.
Since ever.
He's like, also, he's 40. You know, like being 40 and going just all out on defense for 82 games. It's a lot to ask of your body. A lot.
You got to teach the other guys to do it so he don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to leverage that correctly.
So what do we want, Randy? What do we want? Do we want to try to switch some pieces out, hope for a great coach, and keep on going? Or do you want to blow it up and start with some amoebas?
Well, I think you got to blow it up. I think you got to get what you the most you can for Kevin Durant. Let's face it, everybody wants him, but nobody wants to pay for him. It's the age-old problem of having something everybody wants, but they don't want to pay for it. They want to get it at a value. And if I'm the Phoenix Suns, I don't give values here. This is Kevin Durant, proven superstar, proven team changer, proven champion. You're going to pay my price, or we'll hang on to him and we'll go into another season. I have another guy over here. He's sitting over here, Bradley Beal. We could talk about Bradley Beal if you want to talk value menu, but Kevin Durant is not on the value menu. Second of all, I don't think that you go out there and grab another name coach. I agree with what they've been doing, looking at no-name coaches, guys that have been coming up through the ranks that are known. I mean, look what happened with Monty. Monty came here 4 seasons. We ended up in a championship series. Yeah, we lost.
He was NBA Coach of the Year,
but they brought him in, and if it wasn't for a collapse with our quote unquote first overall pick in what's his name from what's the name school down south here?
I don't like to say it.
We should have known. He was from U of A. We should have known. Anyway, bottom line, I think we've got to build a team around Devin Booker, who's been here. If you trade Devin Booker, the city of Phoenix will turn on you, and it's like a pack of rabid, hungry jackals. They will circle around the America West Arena in downtown Phoenix, looking for Ishbia, and they want to chew him up and spit him out. You will have a bad situation on your hands. Go with an up-and-coming coach, keep Booker in place, get what you can for Kevin Durant, and let's build up the Phoenix Suns from the ground up.
Big George says, I hear Portland is trying to shop DeAndre Ayton. Maybe we can get him back in Phoenix, and Tibbs could teach him how to play some defense.
Yeah, oh boy.
Yeah, I don't think that they would get along at all. The last thing that DeAndre Ayton was ever going to respond well to is somebody telling him what to do.
Yeah, I don't know if getting DeAndre Ayton back is a solution. If you're Phoenix, you got to look at young talent.
Oh, he was just being facetious.
There's a bunch of people here in Phoenix that like to tell DeAndre Ayton what to do.
Random texter says, doesn't Bradley Beal have a no trade clause?
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Sure
and
does.
He's worth a lot of money. A lot of money. So giving him up.
But why would he want to stay here?
Bradley Beal?
Yeah, I mean, if he can get traded and the money goes with him, maybe he's looking around going, yeah, this is not a fit for me.
I don't think it's about him staying here. I think it's about getting another team to accept all of that money. That's more of the issue. So
we're upside down on Bradley Beal.
Yep.
Yeah. LA Kid says, you're right. Thibodeau can teach Bronny and Luka to play defense. Bronny and Luka are the future of this franchise. Now look who's being facetious.
I think Luka is. I don't know about Bronny.
All right, we got to take a break. Let's come back and talk more things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist, clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
O'Reilly. Parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or import direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
The Rich Eisen Show.
I need names of the individuals in the association that voted Tyrese Halliburton as the most overrated player in the NBA. I need names on that front. I need your names on the table. How the hell does somebody take a look at Tyrese Halliburton and say that guy's overrated? That should be over.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580. The Fanatic.
Plunder here on 1580, The Fanatic. Vic George says, hey, Randy, I'm going to watch Paul Skeens pitch on Sunday at PNC Park in Pittsburgh against the Phillies. Looking forward to seeing the Cy Young phenom in person. Maybe Livy Dunn will be there too. I'll send you guys some pictures, he says.
Easy, Big George. Easy, big fella.
Easy.
I think the Diamondbacks just started a game against the Braves, and already Diamondbacks up 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning.
There we go.
Need it. Need it.
I'm not going to get excited just yet. Just things have not been going great for the Diamondbacks lately.
Nope.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
I would love for that to change, but I have no expectations. I have no expectations of this, but, I'm not trying to be a boo-hoo over here, but feels like the Diamondback season is over. So if they can change that, nobody be more thrilled than me.
The season's not over for the Diamondbacks. They've had some rough go of it lately. I'm not going to lie. they've been in the midst of it lately. However, they made some moves here recently, and I'm very happy about it. You'll notice that Kevin Ginkel has been demoted to the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You'll notice that Charlie, what's his name? Brandon Oaktree. What's his name? Mick Oak. He's down in the minor leagues, and they brought up a couple of guys, a couple of young prospects, including one Christian Mena, which, by the way, the last time that Christian Mena came up, he pitched 3 innings and absolutely took it to the Dodgers. Absolutely shut the Dodgers down.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So he's on the big team again.
Yeah.
And Ginkel is not. Ginkel is now Einhorn, and Einhorn is Ginkel.
Bad supply too. Don't forget about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other kid that's coming up, he's another. I think he's number 13 or something nationally ranked prospect with the Diamondbacks. I told you we have a strong farm team, and this kid, this right-hander, I can't think of his name right now. This right-hander they brought up in place of Kevin Ginkel. That kid is something to write home about as well. I mean, I foresee the Diamondbacks in their good offense, and now the bullpen has got some new life in it, some new blood in it. Maybe we could get Eduardo Rodriguez back. Get him back to being well. Corbin Burns, let's hope the elbow is not a significant issue. He came out of yesterday's game with an elbow issue, and let's hope that's a minor thing and that he's not going to be out very long. And let's hope that the Diamondbacks can just go ahead and take the business to Atlanta. In Atlanta, the Bravos have been playing some good baseball as of late. So we're going to wait and see. 1-0 currently, Diamondbacks. They're going up against Strider today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it should be a good game for the Snakes.
Well, here's hoping it's a good series too. But right now we're going to talk about some other things. You know, Steph Curry is also, I think, the same age as Kevin Durant. They are both 37 years old.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, both of them play at a pretty high level, even still today. But let's face it, they have fewer years ahead of them than they have behind them when it comes to their careers. Steph Curry has said he wants to try another sport once his basketball career is over. And at first I was thinking, oh, is he going to play baseball like Michael Jordan? And was he one of those guys that, remember how Tom Brady and Danny Ainge, those guys had baseball contracts and stuff. And Kyler Murray, little Kyler Murray, I think he had one, you know. And it turns out Steph Curry's like, oh, no. He says, I want to be on the PGA Tour.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great golfer.
He is a great golfer. Yeah.
Is he good enough for the tour?
Yeah, I think he could be. If he once he gets out of basketball, if he devotes all of his time to it, I think he could be. Yeah.
He's got a handicap right now of +1, and I'm trying to see.
Yeah, what do you need to be if you're a PGA golfer?
I mean, that's very close.
You need about. This says
you need to be a scratch golf.
Says +5. So honestly, he's probably not there. But he can get there with time. If he dedicates all of his time, maybe he can make the fringe of it. I don't know. Qualifying for the PGA Tour, it's hard. That might be the hardest sport. I don't know if it's the hardest sport to get into.
It's the hardest game to play.
With LIV, it's the hardest game to play. I'll say that.
Call it a sport. I think we call it a sport, but I don't feel
it's definitely a sport.
I know. I go back and forth on that one.
I don't.
I mean, Steph Curry's got the confidence to be a professional golfer. He has got the swagger to be a professional golfer, and he has the skill. He just hasn't had the time to devote to it. I mean, think about it. He'll have to give up basketball and devote all of his time to being a professional golfer.
Well, he might not have that time because he also wants to own a team.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has the net worth. to own a team. Probably not by himself.
Yeah, he'd just take a little stake like Charles Woodson or Tom Brady did.
Right, because Steph Curry, at least according to things, he has $240 million. You need four times that to be in the conversation, and you probably need 8 times that to own a team, or more. So,
well, you could be a junior owner,
right? Part of a group, but no, you're not going to follow in Michael Jordan's footsteps on this because the prices are way higher than they used to be. So, what do you think is more likely? He owns a team, or he plays in the PGA Tour?
Owns a team.
Owns a team for
sure. You're probably right.
Owns a team.
Yeah.
Better than anyone you know at golf, but you got to be really good to be on that tour.
Because I mean the PGA Tour, it's not like he's going to go out there just it's some random course somewhere and be able to play a tournament. I mean, you have to devote your life to playing golf, and I don't know that he wants to do that after being an NBA superstar and the wear and tear on his body that he's taken from 13 NBA seasons. 13, is that what he's
16.
been in?
He's been 16? In 16.
Yeah.
So
Last Optimist says Curry used to have a golf game show. Yeah, that's right. He did. I think it was mini golf, but still. And then, of course, TV. Do you think that he would do well on TV?
I don't
as
know.
An analyst
TV,
or something like that?
Nah, I don't know if TV.
But did you ever think, you're not old enough to answer this, but did you ever think that Reggie Miller would have been good on TV? Back when he was playing, you saw Reggie Miller. Did you ever think, oh, that dude would be great on TV doing color commentary on play-by-play? You would have never thought that, ever.
You wouldn't have got Randy. Would you have thought of that? Reggie Miller being good enough to be really interesting. Steph Curry. Now that I think about it, I was assuming you were talking about more of a pregame guy, which I would say no there. In terms of an analyst, I think he could be that. He knows a lot about the game. I mean, he revolutionized the game. I think people would have listened to him. So heck yeah.
Against the Spread is here to comfort me and scold me, I think, all at the same time.
Oh, no.
Okay.
He says, Jeffrey, the Diamondbacks season is not over. That's ridiculous. They have a bad recent stretch, and they're 5 out of the wild card. Phoenix has the biggest fair weather fans. One small setback, and it's time for everyone to pack up. Good thing you and other fans weren't at Normandy on D-Day. You'd say, well, the Germans are shooting at us. No way we can win, so let's give up. So first off, awesome. It's a long burn for me to start to be like, wow, things ain't looking good. And it has taken me a long time to get to the point where I'm like, gee, it kind of feels like it's over. But I've been the biggest supporter during bad times for the Diamondbacks over the years. Randy can back me up on that. But it just, something's got to change against the Spread. Even you have to admit that something with the team has to change. And really, if they rally up and suddenly are playing better ball, guess who that's on? The players. I don't feel like it's on the coaches. I don't feel like they're being effective at all. So, and listen, yes, if we were on the beach at Normandy, I would have stormed that beach with you right in front of me. I would have run the entire way with my hand on your back.
Yeah,
I like against the Spread. He knows he knows ball, and he knows what he's talking about.
I think that the recent problems with Zach Gallen, if we can get that straightened away, although I don't know if we can, because I don't know if this pitching coach is capable of doing that. And now Brent Strom is, in Pittsburgh, I understand, working with the Pirates and guys like Paul Skeens. So
doing a pretty good job.
I don't think that we have a quality pitching coach. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Kettle Metal just hit himself a dinger. It's now 2-0 Diamondbacks over the Braves in the middle of the second.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go, Cattell.
Nice. There we go.
King of Kitten says, Ludafisk, Reggie Miller versus the New York Knicks 30 for 30 story is on ESPN right now.
It's awesome.
Don't tell people that and we're trying to do a radio show here.
Yeah. We need all the listeners we can get.
Yeah, we can't have that.
If you have a PPM, just leave the radio on. Anyway, he's tampering. Nobody cares. Anyway, I think Steph Curry, I don't know if he's got the charisma, though. I don't know if he has the charisma to be a media type, to be honest.
Maybe, but to be an analyst, in-game analyst, charisma isn't a need. To
Yes,
be a
it is.
pregame, to be an in-game analyst,
It
it's,
is.
I don't know
You
if it's
still
a
have
need.
to have that in conversation. Reggie Miller surprised a lot of people, and he does have the sense of humor. He does have the clarity of mind and the ability
It's
to
great
speak.
to have. It's great to have.
I don't know if Steph Curry really has that.
And it may
so.
develop as he retires more and gets, when you retire, you get less focused in what you're doing and you sit back and relax a little bit. It could develop.
I'm
like Reggie Miller,
pre-retirement. And I'm totally unfocused right now.
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of analysts, ESPN is promising that inside the NBA, when it starts up there next season, they will be given the same hands-off treatment that they gave Pat McAfee. They're not going to get involved with the production. They're going to just stay out of the way. But the other thing that's great is they're going to let them have that extended post-game, like we're just going to do what we want to do until we're done doing it thing.
Yep.
That's one of the things that made TNT, version of this great. And so they're smart enough, at least. ESPN is dumb as hell.
Oh, yeah.
But they are smart enough, at least, to stay out of the way and because remember, they're licensing this show from TNT. It's still TNT's show and TNT's show on ESPN. And so they're going to have full editorial control. And so it'll be the same kind of show. It might look a little different, might feel a little different. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But generally, it should be the same thing that we all enjoy.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Randy? What are you doing?
Randy's messing with the audio there.
What are you doing?
What are you talking about?
What was that audio?
I don't know what you're talking about. There was no audio.
You just got caught red-handed.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about. Triple H, I got caught doing the show here. There's no
I must
audio.
be having a stroke.
You're having a stroke. That's what's happening.
Possible. He's having a stroke.
So anyway, I just can't be happier if that show is left alone to be what it needs to be.
Good.
Me too. That's how it should be.
Anyway, we got to take a break. When we come back, other assorted things to talk about. I'm trying to get to talk about some NFL quarterbacks today.
Okay.
That was one of the things I've been looking forward to doing. So hopefully we'll get there. I think we will. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames, because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster, which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding yourself skipping your self-care routine, experiencing things around you others don't, or withdrawing from friends and family, you might be experiencing first episode psychosis, or FEP. Stress, trauma, substance use, even genetics can trigger it. And if you're in your late teens to mid-20s, it's impacting you more than others. Know the signs of FEP. Go to learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MatForce, working to build healthier communities.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic against the spread says, remember the 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. They were 11 out of the wild card in late August. They caught the Braves, won the wild card, and won the World Series. And by the way, Jeffrey, it wouldn't matter if you're behind me on D-Day because the MG42 would rip bullets through both of us.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Well, I wouldn't be lonely. Swave Dave says, since you're going to talk football, I heard the Lions are losing their veteran center. Yeah, Ragnow decided to retire at the ripe old age of 29.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great career, too. I mean, he was great for them for a long time, man. And it's interesting to see this is sort of becoming a theme when you talk about guys like Luke Kuechly, others, Andrew Luck, even, as you know, Jeffrey. Guys,
a different situation there.
Well,
Ryan Grigson had him murdered.
True, but guys, he
Never
kind of
forget.
did. He
Never
kind of
forget.
did. I won't lie, except against the Titans. I mean, he looked like the next Masaga of Peyton Manning mixed with Patrick Mahomes
Listen,
against us.
If they'd have protected him, if they'd had a better O-line, we would have had a handful of Super Bowls already. Seriously,
Andrew Luck?
I believe that. I believe that 100%.
I think if he would have stuck around, Indy would have won a Super Bowl.
Especially because when they finally did, like right when he left, they fixed the O-line. We had a stellar O-line for a while.
Yeah, with
What
Nelson.
could have been
Jones.
so that's why I have a those big fleshy looking punching dummy things. We call ours Bob. And but for the entire time that he was there, I called it Ryan Grigson, and I put a Colts hat on it, and I would punch the living bejesus out of that thing, and just take out all my frustrations on Grigson.
What's crazy about that situation is it shows how good Andrew Luck was, because you play those first 8 years of his career, that was probably the worst case scenario that you're going to get, and he's still an all-pro, constant Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. That shows how good Andrew Luck is. His best receiver was T.Y. Hilton and whoever else, man. So
there wasn't he was one of those quarterbacks that made mediocre receivers better. But let me tell you about the whole thing with Andrew Luck. They paid him. They didn't have to. They paid him because Irsay knew that they were responsible for this disaster. And Irsay went ahead and paid money they probably could have gotten out of. So another good guy Irsay story right there.
I love Irsay.
So sad that that greatness was never known. Quiet Cannon says Quadzilla is pitching for the Braves now.
Quadzilla.
Who's
Quadzilla?
Let's see here. Yeah. So they pulled Strider already.
They pulled Strider already?
Wow.
He's on my fantasy team.
I mean,
why are you repeating after me?
I've got the game on, and Strider's still in the game.
I was going to say 2 runs in the first couple innings. And
who's Quadzilla? Is that what you call Strider?
I never heard anyone call Spencer Strider Quadzilla.
Hey, guess who's back up the bat after hitting a home run earlier? Kettle Metal.
Yeah, Kettle Metal.
About to get walked, it looks like. He's got 3 balls and no strikes.
There you go.
We are not doing play-by-play, though, I promise.
Yeah, we don't do that. Above our pay grade. Or my pay grade. at least.
Yeah, I was about to say. Come on now. So
good point.
He did it again. He hit a 2-run bomb.
He did it
No
again?
way.
Yeah.
Did he really?
He had a guy ahead of him?
Yeah, Corbin Carroll was on first. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, I do announce we are not doing play-by-play.
We are not doing play-by-play.
No, we're not.
I
was
just
about
thought
to
I would
talk about
update
Caitlin
the,
Clark, but here we go.
4-0.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Love it.
This is going to be a fun game, huh?
Yep.
Against the Spread says, why not retire in your late 20s, especially if you've made millions? You can barely get out of bed if you play college ball most days. The dudes in the pros have incredible pain.
Yeah.
It's like being 75 car wrecks every day. No, I hear you Against the Spread. It's just, when you get a good guy on an offensive line, man, you feel that when they leave. When Ryan Kelly, I was like, oh, broke my heart.
Yeah, he was great.
You can replace defensive linemen easier than you can replace good offensive linemen. I mean, they're both important, but I'm just going to say, this Ragnow is gonna hurt.
There's a reason left tackle is a top 3 highest paid position in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Swave Dave says, by the way, the Lions also picked up a fresh new cornerback. Did you hear that? No, who'd they pick up?
Did not hear that.
I don't think it's going to make up for the sadness of Ragnow, but sure.
Yeah.
Back to what I was going to say about Caitlin Clark. You being a sports bettor, you'll appreciate this. People are so, I don't know, short-sighted. Maybe the word is that when Caitlin Clark's playing, oh my God, people are betting on Fever games like crazy. The betting action is just gone nuts when she's on the Fever. Look at their first 3 games. Indiana attracted 90% of the money line bets of the WNBA. And now that she's injured, gone. Woof.
Oh my God.
The amount wagered on the games where she wasn't around, half as much as the team's first 4 games.
That is wild.
So it's a quad strain. I don't know how much longer she'll be out with that, but here's the thing. There's a lot more going on in the WNBA. I'll be honest, I ain't watching it, but I hear that there's a lot more going on. If you're going to bet on Caitlin Clark and the Fever, I'm sure you could find some action and some things to do and reasons to watch it, even if she's sitting out hurt.
Yeah,
I don't watch it because I just don't watch it.
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea personally. Like, you can watch it, that's fine. I'll watch a couple games here and there, but yeah, just not my cup of tea, Jeffrey.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, people are dumb. I've been betting against the Fever and it's very profitable. Well, you're probably doing that right now, right?
That's smart. That's smart because it probably shifts the markets and the Fever become juiced by the markets. And so get away from their value and take the other team. Pretty smart.
Big George says Kettle Metal is trying to single-handedly save Tori Lavello's job. I don't know if Kettle Marte, well, maybe. I don't know, Randy. I mean, if anybody could.
Probably
it's going to be, it will be something big if Tori Lavello gets let go. I mean, this team would have to do, and it won't be by the All-Star break either, unless the ownership group steps in. It would be after the season. If this team underperforms, then you'll see some sort of a move. But I doubt that's going to happen during the season.
This is the con about making the World Series, is you have to deal with higher expectations. And if they aren't met, unreasonable or not, questions start to loom.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they've kept him around for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, but this will be the second season after the World Series run.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed, Randy.
Swave Dave says, what? Everyone's got the fever? Do you know the only cure for that? Small cowbell. Thank you, Swave Dave.
Yeah.
By the way, welcome Celeste Taylor as assistant coach of Grand Canyon women's basketball. She's a WNBA player who played for Phoenix and other places as well. So I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't aware Grand Canyon had a lady team. I didn't know that.
They made the tournament
all we ever
last
hear
year.
about, and we air the games for the men. How come we're not airing the games for the ladies too? We should do that.
Yeah. Are you saying that because of less work for us?
Shut up,
Jeffrey?
Harris. Why don't you shut your face? Shut your stupid face right now.
I was just asking.
Swear to God, I'm going to grab you. I'm going to shave that ridiculous mustache off. Keep it to yourself.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
I'm keeping it to myself. I was just
Against the
curious
Spread
at all.
says if only the WNBA made royalties off betting action, maybe the league could actually turn a profit. Who wants to watch a bunch of drama queens that can't dunk fall on the floor every 30 seconds anyway? That is not true. I don't believe that's true. I honestly couldn't tell you if that's true or not. Because I don't want it. But I don't think that's true. I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations. I think they play some pretty good basketball. Every time somebody says, "Oh, check out what happened," I go on there and check out what happened, and I'm like, "Holy crap, these girls can play. They can play. There is good play out there."
It's not necessarily the play for me. It's how that league is covered that really just makes it hard to watch sometimes. Like, the RG3 Ryan Clark feud. That was like, what am I looking at here? The whole, just all the discussions around it. I think Caitlin Clark's awesome to watch. Like, I think she's fun to watch. It's just, there's just a lot that comes to it. That's just, I don't know.
I'd rather watch women's basketball than soccer.
Yeah, I'd rather watch college women's basketball than the WNBA. And maybe
Well,
soccer too. if I'm being honest.
men's college basketball is sometimes better than watching the NBA. So, I mean,
I second that.
But soccer, no, thank you. Peyton Manning, he bought into the. First, I thought it was not safe for work. Turns out, NWSL stands for Nude Women's Soccer League. I was like,
How
National,
was that so?
National
That was a little
Women's
bit of a
Soccer
typo
League.
Didn't hear about this nude women's soccer league.
That might have been just me. But
Yeah, I think
no,
that was-
he's bought into it as a Colorado guy. They're starting it up. It's a new one, and they don't even have a logo or a name yet. But Denver's getting a women's soccer team.
Is the logo going to be a nude woman, or is
Probably
it
a nude Peyton Manning.
Wow.
That'll be the quickest franchise that it was ever started and disbanded.
ever more
And
than
then,
the awful?
The Major League Soccer. Is that really a thing?
Because it's not.
It is.
Major.
Yeah.
It is a thing, but the name is deceiving. It's not major. The
Well,
league, 'cause
whatever
Major League is-
MLS is. When I saw that Chicago had MLS, I thought, "Oh my gosh, I hope they get well soon." Turns out, no, it's not a
Major
disease.
League Soccer, yeah.
yeah, it's Major League Soccer. I had to look that up. But here's the thing that really I wish more people paid attention to. So
Okay.
the Major League Soccer Chicago Fire, they are going to build a new stadium with no public funding.
Oh, no kidding.
$650 million right there on the Chicago River. The team owner, Joe Mansueto, will privately finance the facility.
Wow.
If you can do it for soccer, I guarantee you the NFL franchises are making more money. They should pay their own way. They shouldn't be taking tax money from us, for the football or the baseball or the basketball stadiums. If soccer can figure out how to do it themselves, of course, nobody would agree to taxes for a soccer stadium. They might be talked into it for the other sports, but still shouldn't. If they can do it themselves and they see there's a benefit to doing it themselves,
Please.
You know what
Are
I'm saying?
kidding? Are you kidding me? You mean these billionaire NFL team owners actually break that wallet open and
No,
spend
listen.
a few
They
$100
will.
million on their own stadium?
Two things. They will and they would. First, they would fix up the places they had until they couldn't fix them up anymore. It's not up to them, Randy. It's up to us to say no. We keep saying no.
Oh, I know.
They'll run out of places to go.
I know, but they're in too many politicians' back pocket there. That's why they always get it through. A tax always gets through. That's why.
I agree with you, Jeffrey. We should not. The taxpayers,
I'm emperor. I'll put it into it.
should
There
not
you go.
be funding these big stadiums. We should not. They should.
Yeah, let the teams do it. They're making the money. Let them spend the money to make the money. That's just basic business right there. I mean, hey, Randy,
Yes?
you and I, we should buy the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go to the city of Phoenix and say,
Yeah.
hey, we need you to institute a tax to pay for our business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait, what are you talking? Okay, no, just the building. We just want you to. I want you to create a sales tax that will help pay for our business's building. We'll handle the stuff that we'll own the radio station, but you guys will own the building.
Yeah.
They'd laugh you out of the room.
I 100% agree with you.
But yeah, here we are spending all this money in tax money, which, by the way, they'll put the little, it's just a quarter-cent tax.
Oh, yeah.
That never goes away.
Never goes away.
Long
Ever.
after whatever needed to be paid for got paid for.
By the way, I don't want to jinx anything. It's the fourth inning in Atlanta.
Yes.
Zach Gallen is pitching a no-no.
You should not have said that.
Oh, we can't do that. Got to
Why
knock on
did you
wood,
just
Randy.
say that?
Oh, this is the Arizona Diamondbacks.
This is how you prove we're
Any
not
game
doing
can be
play-by-play.
blown. Yeah, this is it
You-
right here.
Why didn't you shush yourself before you said it out loud with your mouth, Randy?
Look at him smirking.
Nobody
He
thought
knows.
Zach
He
Gallen would go
knows.
any kind of a distance with a no-no.
Got that smirk.
Hour 3 is next. Daily Blender, 1580 The Fanatic.
O'Reilly.
You need parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or import direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly. Auto Parts.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous. The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. Choose natural healing.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
I'm Angela Gonzalez reporting from Phoenix. We're talking with the community about Phoenix Police Department. Ma'am, what do you think?
Oh, I love them. They're our local heroes. We've had some problems around here with break-ins and people using drugs on the streets. The police work with our community to have a presence in our neighborhood and keep our streets safe.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Gracias a la Policía de Phoenix.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Rise to serve. Find more today at joinphxpd.com. Protect and serve with the elite.
Sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Harris Hicks in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, listen, we got to talk some football. Harris, is that thing you sent me about Florida State and Clemson, is that about football? Is that about football?
Yes, that is about football.
Then we can talk about it. If the ACC, Florida State, and Clemson file to dismiss cases against each other.
Yep.
Doesn't it just need okay? What was going on there?
So Florida
they were
State,
mad.
Florida State and Clemson are trying to leave the ACC. That's the big picture. They're locked into a contract with them until 2030 something, and they are trying to get out of that contract in any way they possibly can, because they probably want to go to the SEC. So that is...
So why are they dismissing all their cases against each other?
Dismissing all their cases because I actually...
Quitters.
Yeah, it's a complicated web here. But what I believe is happening...
I'm not impressed.
Yeah, they are a bunch of quitters too. Yeah, that's being completely honest. But
well, keep an eye on that, and I'll pretend to care. 888-368-1580. Average Joe says, I just saw the Knicks fire Tom Thibodeau. I know the Suns are down to the two Cleveland guys, but do you think he'd be an option? Earlier in the show, Harris thought he was. I thought he'd probably take some time off to focus on the 7 strands of hair he still has left. And Randy just doesn't care. That's all I know.
He's hanging on for dear life with that seven strokes of hair.
Shave it.
Shave it. He's right.
Yeah.
King of Kitten says, Ludafisk. Why do you keep yelling Ludafisk? He says, Gallen is perfect through 3 innings on those 23 pitches. Well, I think that since you texted that, I think that he's gone further in, has he? Or is he 23 pitches?
It's
still?
the top of 4 now.
All right. Big George says, Randy, you never speak of a no-hitter before the 7th inning. You know that. You should know, Mr. Catcher, Mr. Traditional Superstitious Baseball Guy.
I didn't say no-hitter. I said no-no. That's what I said was no-no.
That's what that means. We all know what that means.
Don't say no-hitter. You never say no-hitter.
You just said no-hitter.
No-no is what I said.
Moist One says, there is no jinx. Now you've done it.
I don't know, man. You say that, and
something special is happening in Atlanta.
But it's too early to say anything special is really happening. The 4th inning, 2 outs.
It's becoming a special night in Atlanta.
Well, it's not that special. You just jinxed them in the 4th inning. There's no runs in the 4th inning.
I didn't jinx
anything. You jinxed the 4th inning.
We're going to the bottom of the 4th right now.
The middle of the 4th, and you jinxed them.
I said we're going to the bottom of the 4th right now, and I didn't do anything of the sort.
Well, guess what? Yeah, you've jinxed them.
So Jeffrey, we were just talking about this a couple minutes ago, but I found out the reason why they're trying to sue Florida State and Clemson.
But they're not trying to sue. They just moved to settle all of it. So they're nobody suing anybody.
The exit fee is at $165 million for Florida State and Clemson to leave the conference. That is probably going to be too much to pay. They're trying to get it lowered to about $75 million. In 2026, it would drop to $75 million, but they're trying to get it lowered like ASAP. So that's the issue. Are Florida State and Clemson willing to pay that $75 million fee?
So it seems like they are. If they're just trying to move for dismissal of their cases, then what it is that they just want the judge to say, okay, that's fine. You don't have to pay.
I think that's right.
Okay. I thought they were trying to dismiss their cases where like, okay, forget it. I don't want to sue you anymore.
Long story short,
way around.
Yeah. Long story short, they want to go to the SEC because the media deal in the SEC is way bigger than the one in the ACC. The whole CW ACC media deal thing, I wouldn't be surprised if that conference wasn't around in 10 years, 5 years, maybe. Yep. It's very interesting.
Does this affect
stuff.
the Sun Devils in any way?
It does not.
So stop talking to me about
They're
this.
in the Big 12, but it could.
It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me.
How could it affect the Devils?
It affects them because the SEC and Big Ten get bigger, and ASU is not a part of that. Therefore, it hurts them a little bit because they're continuing to monopolize the sport. That's how it affects them. It's a big concern.
How greedy do we need to be?
Yeah.
Let's just keep our eyes on our own work and let's see what happens.
All right.
So let's talk some NFL quarterbacks, please.
Let's do it.
That's all I want.
Yeah. You have wanted this for a while.
So often we don't get to it. Now we're going to get to it.
Okay.
So first up, you got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow found a microphone and says, you know what? If I'd played better last year, we wouldn't have missed the playoffs. And I appreciate that, Joe Burrow. There was more at work there than just you. But yeah, I think we all feel like if we did better, that we could help the team and we can do this or we could do that. So I salute you, Joe Burrow, for saying that if I had played better, we wouldn't have been in that spot we were in. So I'm going to focus on getting myself better. And I feel like everyone in the locker room feels the same way about themselves. If I go out there and play better than I did last year, then it doesn't matter what goes on anywhere else. So his focus is, I've got to do better.
He's technically right. Like, if you played better, sure, you would be in the playoffs. Let's keep in mind.
His defense was a big problem there. Really.
Yeah.
Ranked 25th in points and yards allowed. And the defense was a bigger reason they went 9-8 than Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow led the NFL last year in completions, yards, and touchdowns.
He would have been MVP if the defense wasn't so bad on that
He
team.
had an exceptional year. And I think this, when people talk about ranking their top NFL quarterbacks, he gets criminally underrated.
So now there's Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Then you look over at Jordan Love. His comment is, after hearing that some media types say he's taken a step back in the last season, instead of saying, well, that's fair, I really got to work on me, I got to do better, I got to get myself in the gym, I got to be there before anyone else, I got to leave after everyone else, I've really got to improve what I'm doing and us as a team. And it's not what he did. He says, what is a step back? I ask. He says everybody has different opinions. So how is it a step back? When the Packers improved their record, so he's arguing the points. He's like, what is a step back? So he basically is being defensive. Oh, really? A step back, even though our record was better and this and that. Everybody has opinions about that. He's being defensive about it. So which leader would you rather have? A guy who's defensive instead of saying, I got to work harder. I got to work on me. And I got to say things that are going to be a good example to the other people on my team. Or is it, defending myself and thinking of only me when I talk about, listen, at the end of the day, personal stats. Come on, man.
I think Jordan Love is right, though. I think
he might be right, but that's the wrong thing to say if you're going to be a leader of men.
Sometimes you got to call reporters out when they are wrong. And he's right. He did not take a step back last year. They were what? They won 11 games last year.
You're missing that it is irrelevant whether it's right or wrong. The message has got to be, we are going to work harder. We are going to go farther. We were 11-6 this last season. We were 9-8. Make of that what you will. But if you think my play has taken a step back, all right, well, then I'm going to work even harder to be better. I am going to encourage myself and everyone around me to work hard on doing better. Joe Burrow didn't need to say, if I had played better, we could have done better. Dude, you were playing as good as a quarterback could possibly play. You had MVP numbers. That's a leader saying, I need to do better. We need to do better. Jordan Love's only words out of his mouth should have been, I need to do better. We need to do better. I don't know if I agree with you that the Packers took a step back. We were 11-6. The year before, we were 9-8. That doesn't matter. It's a whole new season. I need to do better. We need to do better. Were we in the Super Bowl? No. We all need to do better. That is what a leader says, not arguing the finer points of, well, really, what is a step back? What is a step back? Really? A step back? Dude, You're going to make it about yourself. Make it about yourself being a leader.
He's not making it about himself because the reporter is the one that made it about himself.
His response made it even more so.
The question was already tailored to him, though. The question was tailored to him.
It wasn't a question. It was a narrative.
Look.
And there's a lot of people who have come out and said Love took a step backwards, even though the team won more games. They were looking at him specifically.
I mean, he was top 5 in QBR last year. Like he was very quality last year.
No, listen, I'm not going to argue the point against him on his stats or his situation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when the opportunity presents itself for someone like Jordan Love or Joe Burrow, do what Joe Burrow does. Don't do what Jordan Love did in that situation. He needs to be coached on how to deal because when he speaks to the press, he's also speaking to his teammates.
You're saying
they're all listening to what he's saying.
Yeah.
He should have not listened to that noise and focused on, I need to do better. We need to do better. Period.
So you're not saying he's wrong. You're just saying you don't.
I'm not saying he's wrong.
That he's arguing with the point.
Right.
That's all. I can see some validity in that, but
Joe Burrow could have started arguing about whatever, but he didn't. He says, you know what? I need to do better.
I think if the reporter said he took a step back and Jordan Love genuinely took a step back, I think he would have had a similar response that Joe Burrow had. I just think he was calling him out because he thought he was wrong and he had a point.
Phrased, you say it the other way.
I don't know about that.
You need to be coached on how to handle those situations. Chief Skull says Jordan Love is going to the entitlement Aaron Rodgers attitude, it seems.
No.
King of Kittens says home run Atlanta, perfection denied. You weren't going to tell us where you ran it. You're going to try to just hope we didn't notice, huh?
I'm not worried about it at all. Look, he gave up a home run. It's a legit home run. It's not some, is a little tiny squeaker through the infield. It was a great hit.
At least Randy isn't worried.
Not worried about it at all. Eugenio Suarez has an error in the inning, and they scored a run on the air. So it's now 4-2.
Dang it!
Just maybe next time don't mention it.
Okay.
You guys don't mention the no-hitter. Win the no-hitter.
Scary. I don't want to mention the no-no in
How
Atlanta.
are you not superstitious about this, but so many other things?
How am I superstitious about anything?
You're a baseball player.
Yeah.
Big George says, damn it, Randy. Yeah, I know. Braves are scoring in bunches in this 4th inning after you jinxed Zach Allen with your no-no talk.
If FYI, when they came back from break, Steve Berthume was talking about the no-no that was happening in
we can blame
Atlanta.
him. He's on TV. We should blame him.
Just thought I'd let you know that.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Still, just
okay. All right. Message received from the great and mighty 4th dimension in Jeffrey.
Don't put this on me.
I won't say a word ever again, ever.
You know how I feel, Randy.
Well, of course. Let's go ahead, Jordan Love, and let's go ahead and let's go that direction.
Oh, now you're Jordan Love.
Now you're Jordan Love.
Oh, okay.
Be more like Joe Burrow, Randy.
Okay. I've got to be better.
Now you know how I feel, Randy. This is typically you're in my spot right
Big
now.
George says, Randy, every Friday the 13th, you play that thunder sound and you scare us about the date. How are you not superstitious?
Well, Friday the 13th is different. I mean, everybody knows about Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's different. I see.
It is different.
It's not different. Chief Skull says, how many more games before they fire Torey Lovello? Well, the consensus is probably not before the All-Star break.
Probably not before the All-Star. Probably not until the end of the season.
Oh, Braves scored again.
Yeah.
It's now 4-3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, another hit in the inning.
Oh. Randy, you might face some wrath from the
I'm not scared.
I will defend you.
I've been here long enough to know what happens.
You have. That's true.
Jeffrey and I have been here long enough just not to care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeffrey,
it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It'll blow over.
Yeah. This too shall pass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, at least you're not Lance McCullers. Find out those death threats that Lance McCullers Jr. was getting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They say it came from a resident overseas. That's
Wow.
even scarier.
Yeah.
You're getting death threats from somebody across an ocean, but they said the guy lost money betting, so he wasn't like a mafioso type or somebody to be or Saudi. He said he was frustrated and inebriated when he made the threats.
Oh, I'm
so
sure,
evidently
yeah.
they found him. They went to him and put the scare into him because now
shouldn't just put the scare. They should arrest his ass. They should put him in jail for death threats. And he was threatening his family.
I don't know if he was arrested or not, but the Houston Police Department said, yeah, it's just something that was happening overseas. Now, if he was answering to it, then he's subject to the laws of the land wherever he is. So, but he says, yeah, he said, McCullers just was like, he says, I get it. People are passionate and love the Astros and sports, but threatening to find my kids and murder them, that's a bit much to do.
That's too much. Yeah, you should be. And it's more than a free speech issue. It's a safety issue. I think that's the ultimate reason why he should be arrested, is because now you don't know what's going to happen. And imagine if you can't get anybody, law enforcement involved, and something happens, but because you couldn't get law enforcement involved, well, he was actually murdered. There's a flaw there. So, yeah.
Filthy Phil, that's what we call him on the text line.
I think it is.
Says, me and Mr. Rub My Cheeto Dust on my white shirt over there agree on a lot, but firing Tibbs is not a travesty for a team that hit a ceiling under his coaching style and stubbornness to stray from the system.
First off, what did he call me?
I guess he's calling you rub your Cheeto dust on your white shirt. I don't understand this.
This is an orange shirt for your information. And I'm not rubbing my Cheeto dust.
Yeah, it might have started as a white shirt. We can't.
Wow.
No,
guarantee
this is an orange shirt, actually, I must say. But I'm glad we agree on a lot. But this Tibbs thing is bugging me because this is a bad message from the NBA. Like, I thought we had the revenge of the coaches with these four guys all being tenured 4+ years, able to establish the system. There's a theme that was happening here. And then the Knicks just come out and completely annex it. And they don't understand the fact that before they got Tibbs, they hadn't had a winning season.
I thought we were
in
done
9
talking
years.
about all this.
9 years.
Phil,
9
what are you
years.
all of a sudden?
9 years.
Who is it that
I'm
always
riled up
changes
right
the
now.
subject on us? Who was it that always changes the subject?
I'm riled up right now. You got me riled up, man.
Detroit, somebody or
Yeah, Joe.
not average Joe, is it?
No, it's
Average
not
Joe.
average Joe. It's
No.
Always talks about the
Ringless
Lions.
Joe.
Ringless Joe.
Joe.
Ringless
There you go.
Joe. Yeah.
Phil pulling a ringless Joe on us. We were way done talking about Thibodeau.
You got me riled up, man. There's no way you should fire Tibbs after what happened, after the type of success that he's had from a franchise that had no success before he got there. Come on, man.
Chief Skull says Randy was a catcher. He knows not to mention the no. He knows.
He does know. But not.
And then
not
Chief
everyone's
Skull wants
perfect.
to know if Phil's maybe calling your stupid mustache Cheeto dust.
Maybe.
Oh,
No, he's talking about he's wearing a orange on his
Cheeto
What is
duster?
that? What is that shirt you're wearing there anyway?
It's an orange colored shirt
For Tennessee?
and, yep, since the College World Series is going on, I
Didn't you
had to
guys
rep the
just
University
lose?
of Tennessee. We lost, but we ended up winning against Wake Forest yesterday. So
yeah, well, Wake Forest. Not only did you
I did
win
see
that
that.
game, but the coach of the other team, he's probably going to lose his job.
I did hear about that.
Tennessee beat Wake Forest 11-5, but on Monday night, Tom Walter.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would say what he said, but he said some very, very homophobic, anti-gay slur kind of stuff. Bleeping bleeps. And I don't know if he was talking about the guy who hit the home run. I don't know if he was talking about somebody in the stands. I don't know. And here's the thing that kills me. He says that language. He says, "Oh, I'm just sick about it. I'm sorry for my outburst and frustration. I blah 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 blah." You know, they always say the same thing. And he says he doesn't remember the specific moment. But he said, "I saw the video. That language doesn't reflect my values." Yeah, it does. Those are your values because you said it.
Yeah.
You said it very comfortably. There was no hesitation. You just blurted that right out. So guess what? It is your values until you knock that off, until you no longer say something like that. You said it. When you say something like that, that's that ugly and vile, those are your values. No, it does not meet the standards of the Wake Forest program. You're right about that. But to say, oh, this is just not who I am in this moment in time, it is exactly who you are, and you should be fired. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and talk. I want to get back to the damn quarterbacks. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agencies. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
It's the bone-crushing hits. The searing sounds of training camp.
Come on, knock your ass back! All gas, no brakes. Let's go!
Soon, the new recruits will show up for minicamp. And then, it's down to business in training camp. When it comes to the NFL, we talk about it. We're 1580 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for the NFL.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Big George says that Corbin Carroll just hit his 17th home run of the year, and it is now 5-3 Diamondbacks.
He did. He did indeed.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Says, thank you, Randy. I love seeing everybody get all fired up over the whole no-no.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I mean, intellectually, I know there's nothing that Randy is going to say or do that is going to change anything. Mm-hmm. But he's also the same guy who probably didn't change his underwear when his team was on a win streak when he was playing the baseball. So
sucks.
It's a contradiction in terms.
It was sucks.
That pick and choose what you might be superstitious about. I am 0% superstitious. But I respect the superstition of the game. And you hang around some hockey players, and I'll tell you what, there's where the real superstition is.
Yeah, I just wanted to fire everybody up a little bit by saying something.
You did.
You just starting some crap.
Yeah, I'm stirring
the
it
pot
up.
over
Stirring.
there, man.
I feel kind of feisty today.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
602 Pats fan says, tell me I'm not the only one that's concerned with the inconsistent Diamondbacks. You're not the only one, man.
Yeah.
You're not the only one. I just got scolded and beat down by Against the Spread for feeling like I feel, and because I'm being honest, feels like our this season is over. Even if we win this game, it just something ain't right. And until that something ain't right gets fixed, it's. I mean, listen. Take a look back at the last 20 games. It's not been good.
It's been very rough for the Diamondbacks, and we talked about it last week on the show. And what did we say, Jeffco? We needed to move some guys down to the minor leagues. We needed to bring some of those fresh arms up here, some of those youngsters, and look what happened. We did that. Now we've got to get Zach Gallen fixed. We've got to get this bullpen on track. We've got to start winning games with a bullpen that is capable of doing that. And we'll wait and see what happens with these adjustments that they've made. I'm happy with the adjustments they made. But look, I've lived long enough, and Jeffrey, you have too, to see.
I have
teams,
not lived nearly long enough.
Well, you have seen teams.
I'm not done yet.
That have. Well, I didn't. I wasn't. I wasn't saying that you were. I was not employed. Never mind.
I got quarters on the machine, Randy.
You have seen teams that have made these comebacks and have made these great pushes and made playoffs and had magical runs in the in the postseason, and it's way too soon, in my opinion, right now, to be giving up on the Diamondbacks for this season. Way too soon.
I am not giving up on the Diamondbacks, but I think I have given up on their leadership. I have given up on their managers.
Now that yes, I think you 100% can go with that.
That's all I'm talking about.
I think a lot of people would agree with you there.
I'll tell you one thing I'm concerned about with the Diamondbacks is the development of Jordan Lawler. Like, how is Torrey developing these prospects? You mentioned they have a good farm system, Randy, but Jordan Lawler, like a highly touted prospect, I don't know, rated number 3 overall prospect in the MLB at one point, goes up and he is like 0 for 19 in the MLB. That's concerning because you have a guy who put a lot of draft capital in, who was a stud coming out of high school, and he's not quite reaching that, not quite developing it the way you thought. Who does that fall on?
Well, I mean, down in the AAA, he's absolutely tearing it up. I mean, he's hitting well, he's playing well, but he comes up to the big team and he gets inconsistent playing time. And with a youngster like that, I don't think you can do that. I think this kid needs to play every day. I think this kid needs to come up and have regular at-bats to get into some sort of rhythm. This is not a veteran. This is a youngster. And when you bring a youngster up and you try to treat him like a veteran, I don't think it works well for some kids. They need that consistency. They need that time on the field. So I think if you're going to bring Jordan Lawler up, you need to play him. You can't bring him up and have him do spot starts here and there and inconsistent at bats. You've got to give this kid the opportunity to go out there and play and get some time on the field.
Let him find a rhythm. That's a good point. That's a good point, Randy.
Well, as the Miami Sound Machine has told us, the rhythm is going to get you.
Oh, the rhythm is going to get you. Yeah.
Rocky Mountain High says Randy White's over here playing the role of Michael Jackson, and then he starts singing the. I'm not going to read all of this, but he typed it out. I said you want to be starting something.
Yeah,
you got to be starting something. I said you're going to be starting something.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to just read all of that. He says, I also made another $100 bet yesterday on the Colorado Rockies on the money line to win against the Miami Marlins, and it paid handsomely. I got $100 on Rockies in the night. It's kind of stole it.
Look at you. You keep going, man. Good
what
for
was
you.
The price you got him at?
He's found himself a nice little system, and he's working.
Let me know what you got the Rockies money line at. Like what exact price? Love to hear it.
Jonesy says Lawler's failure is definitely not on Torrey. He's only coached him for like 20 games. AAA manager needs to teach Lawler how to hit off speed.
Yes, I agree with that. And I think he's got some growing to do. And the minor leagues is a great place to do it. You don't want him to grow, at the major league level. When they come up here, these guys have got to contribute to the team. And that's the problem. It's a pressure cooker when you come up here. You either perform or you get sent down. And fortunately, Jordan Lawler has some more options left. The team was able to send him back down and let him go ahead and, bake a little longer in the oven. So we'll see what happens.
I really, don't appreciate it. I just want you all to know that.
Don't appreciate what?
I was trying to talk quarterbacks
Yes.
in the NFL.
Yes.
But all anybody wants to talk about is Thibodeau and the Diamondbacks and yada, yada, yada. But I feel like nobody wants to talk NFL with me.
I want to talk NFL with you, Jeffco.
Jeffrey, if it were up to me, it'd be college football, college basketball all day, every day.
Well, thank God it's not up to you, Harris, because I wanted to talk about NFL quarterbacks.
Or college
Come
baseball.
on, let's talk NFL.
We can talk
quarterbacks.
NFL, though.
Let's do it.
Let's do
Come
it.
on.
What do we got, Jeffrey?
Come on with your bad self. Let's go.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
I'm not shy. I'm aggravated. I am aggravated by everybody who is trying to stop me from talking about NFL quarterbacks.
Come on, let's go.
Let's do it. Let's hear it, Jeffrey.
CJ Stroud tore his pec.
Did he?
And that's why he hasn't been throwing. He's got a pec issue. I don't know if it's torn or just tight, but they say it's relatively minor. But D'Amico Ryan says, "Oh yeah, I got no concerns whatsoever." But yeah, I'm sure you'd have some.
I know he's got a sore shoulder. I did not know it was officially a torn pec. I heard it was like torn.
Not torn, tight.
Tight. Okay,
Tight.
yeah. I was gonna say that's a big,
I said torn.
big difference.
I shouldn't have said torn.
That's okay.
But that's how these things get torn,
Yep.
That's how these things start.
How it happens with baseball. Probably Corbin Burns.
Anyways, I don't mind if CJ Stroud takes a bunch of games off. Just relax. Take it easy. Pamper that pec. That should be the mantra. Pamper the pec. Pamper the pec.
Pamper your pec.
CJ Stroud, go pamper your pec.
Yeah.
And Titans can go pamper their pecs too. For all everyone in that division, go ahead. Pamper your pecs.
Pamper all of those pecs. All of them.
Including the Colts.
No, the Colts win that division.
Not the Colts. No,
I think they can.
Titans, Texans, all of them should go pamper their pecs, but not the Colts.
Jaguars too.
Yeah, the Jags.
You can just go for a spa day for the hair.
Just you go to
get a mani-pedi and pamper his pec.
Guys, spa day with the special on pec pampering.
Sure. So Cleveland, did you know they got 5 quarterbacks?
Oh yeah,
they have a lot.
I almost half expect them to start the season with 5, just because that's how bad the Browns usually are. Let's play the game without looking, without Googling. Who are the 5 quarterbacks for the Los Cleveland Browns?
Well, there's
Joe Flacco.
There's
Joe Flacco.
Shedeur Sanders. Dylan Gabriel.
There is Sean. Give me a rub and tug. Watson.
Rub and tug Watson.
Oh, he's still on. Yeah, he's still on the.
Who's the 5th one that you always forget?
Dorian Thompson Robinson.
No,
he's not there anymore.
No. Moist one's got it.
Does he really?
Kenny Pickett.
Oh, that's right.
We always forget that he went to the Browns from the Steelers.
Totally forgot he went to the Browns. It totally slipped my mind.
So 5 guys: Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson. Who do you think is the last man standing? Who do you think will start for the Los Cleveland Browns?
I hope it's Small Hands Pickett.
I think it's Flacco. Week 1. I mean, he's elite. He won a Super Bowl.
He's old.
But he's also a Super Bowl champion.
He didn't start for the Colts. Anthony Richardson started.
Is that political reasons?
No.
I don't know.
Joe Flacco is a good guy. He was a great player. It's over. It's over. I don't blame him. Go collect a paycheck from the idiot Browns. Get the money while you still
He took
can.
them to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Remember that? A couple years ago.
He showed up and they went to the playoffs.
Yeah, he had the best defense in the NFL.
It wasn't really him.
I think Anthony Richardson has a big year this year, Jeffrey.
That has nothing to do with the Browns.
I'm just.
Anthony
we were talking about
Richardson's
Anthony.
not on the Browns.
We were talking about Anthony Richardson and the Colts, and
You were. I wasn't. I'm trying to focus
was.
on the Browns and who you think is going to start. And
I
you
think it's
think
Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
I think
Flacco week 1.
I hope it's Kenny has two small hands Pickett.
I think it could be Shador eventually.
They drafted Dylan Gabriel before Shador Sanders,
which is nuts.
Dylan Gabriel they picked up in round 3. Shador was around 5.
I think Dylan Gabriel's actually one of the most underrated quarterbacks of this whole. You know, he broke the velo record for hardest throw in the NFL Combine. He's also he was great at Oregon, at UCF, at Oklahoma. Like wherever he went, the team instantly got better. Look what happened to OU when he left. They had the worst quarterback situation in the FBS.
That's what happens to me.
Gabriel's good, man.
Anywhere I go, the team gets better.
Yeah, this is true. He's not wrong. Yeah.
So Deshaun Watson, even though he wants to play, he's at a level of stink. He ain't going to play.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett is trade bait. I think you'll end up with Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shador Sanders. They'll be trying to, mentor both while Joe Flacco is there and see what if Dylan Gabriel goes up there and takes a big old poo, they'll bring in Shador Sanders. They don't care if they win. They're just trying to develop a quarterback.
What if they all poo?
They don't, unless it's going to be Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and they'll just drop either Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders or trade or something. You can't have 5 quarterbacks. You should only have 2. 3 is really pushing it. What are you, I don't even care. I don't care about the Cleveland Browns at all, but seeing 5 quarterbacks, and they also are idiots. There are just a bunch of morons over there at the Browns.
And 5 quarterbacks, but you don't necessarily have like the guy either. So they're just in. I
think they'll trade Pickett.
Situation. I think Pickett gets traded, and I think Deshaun.
He's not playing. He will not see the field.
He will most likely not see the field. He also got injured. Oh, it's just a really gruesome situation in Cleveland. Honestly,
what makes you think that Cleveland's smart enough to trade anybody? They'll probably just cut one of those guys, don't you think?
They'll cut Deshaun Watson. And they deserve to pay for it.
It's the most expensive cut in NFL history. It's got to be.
Moist One says, I think Daniel Jones has a solid year. You shut up.
Daniel Jones.
Moist One.
You don't
I think legit Anthony Richardson's breaking out next year. The Colts had the highest drop rate.
602 Pats fan says, I read a report, Anthony Richardson still having trouble with accuracy in the OTAs.
The Colts had the highest drop rate in the NFL last year. I think they could fix that with some receivers they got to. I think Anthony Richardson
but that doesn't mean Anthony Richardson is going to be right.
What do you mean going to be right? Going to be right about
LA
what?
Kid says, yes, please talk more NFL. I don't want you to talk about the Dodgers losing yesterday to the Mets. I enjoyed that. Our lead in the division is down to just 1 game against the religious, fanatical Padres.
Yeah.
Hooray. Go Padres.
Yeah.
Silver Pop says, Jeffrey, how about we talk about eggs again instead of quarterbacks? No.
Thanks.
Rocky Mountain High says, this is why the Browns need to hire Kevin Costner as their GM. They'll never realize their full potential until they make that critical move.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Hey, Triple H, Jeffrey wanted to check about quarterbacks. Now you're bringing up Richardson. Oh, that was not nice at all. But that's fair. I'm not.
It's not
Richardson's
nice.
A bust.
Nope. I don't think he is.
You can have him.
Look, I don't trust a lot of reports about OTAs. I think they're all.
I'm not even talking about OTAs. I've been saying that since last year.
Well, you said he was struggling with his accuracy.
He has no sense, as far as how to, not get hurt. He makes bad decisions on the field. Sometimes he'll do these amazing things, but a lot of times he's mediocre. And he just he's not going to be that guy. He's a draft bust.
Fixable. All that you said is fixable. He's working with Josh Allen's, the guy who completely reformed Josh Allen's QB mechanics. So I think it's just a mechanical issue. It's not the fact that he can't do it. Like, he can do it. So
Let me tell you something. I've dated a lot of girls. I know a bust when I see one.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. He's also younger than he's only like 23. I think he's younger than Cam Ward. Anthony Richardson.
I
So
want
he's got a
him
lot of
to
time.
be amazing. And every time I keep thinking, okay, let's see what happens. He does dumb things. He may have a great arm. He may have physical abilities. He may be a freak of nature, but he makes the bad decisions and he ends up hurt or he ends up in trouble. So I don't think they can coach that out of him, man. He's played precious little football. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. I think he's a bust. And it doesn't help me. It doesn't make me feel good to say. It makes me feel bad to say. In fact, I feel so bad now I want to take a break. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start June 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, and the Diamondbacks 5-3 over the Braves right now, bottom of the sixth. Phoenix Mercury down to the Lynx, 33-41 at the end of the half, basically. That's what's going on, in case you care, and even if you don't. What are you sending me here, Triple H? Corbin Burns is on the 15-day IL now.
Oh, is he
medical
really
tests?
Yep.
with the elbow?
Yep, officially. And the fact that he's being put on the 15-day IL before the tests are coming in. Oh, that is
fear the
concerning.
worst.
Yeah, I talked about it yesterday, Randy. I think it could be rough, and he's pitched so many innings up until this point. He's got a lot of mileage. And
you think it's Tommy John time?
Could be.
Hmm.
There's a chance. There's a big chance of it. Yeah,
that's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see what happens, and we'll wait and see what the results are on that.
Yep. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So I was trying to talk about quarterbacks. I didn't.
Let's do it. Let's talk quarterbacks, Jeff. Go.
Well, I feel like it's all sadness now.
What do you mean?
Well, so River is like, oh, Sam Darnold. No, he's still a good he's broken. Okay. They broke Sam Darnold. Right there. We saw it happen on live television as he were trying to win games to get into the playoffs. And then he was just, after that, he was never the same man. And so then in March, the Seahawks are like, we'll take Sam Darnold. We'd like us to get into the Sam Darnold business. And Geno Smith, we don't need your services anymore.
We no
got
longer need
Sam
your
Darnold.
services. Wow.
I believe in
Sam Darnold is in 7-on-7, a little something for the media. And he just threw 2 interceptions.
Wow.
In a 7-on-7.
It's not anything.
I don't know why Minnesota did not want to retain Sam Darnold's services. He served them so well. I mean, I know down the stretch, it got a little shaky there.
They must really see something in McCarthy. That's probably why.
But he had a hell of a season last year, didn't he? I mean,
he did. He had a heck of a season. I mean, we won 13 games last year? And Minnesota was fantastic. Winning 13 games in the NFL is effing hard. A lot of quarterbacks don't even do that.
It is effing hard. You're exactly right.
That's right. Thank you.
Effing hard.
Effing A, man.
Yeah.
So that being said, I believe in Sam Darnold, man. There's a reason San Francisco and Shanahan liked him. There's a reason Belichick even had this quote. He said at one point, every NFL front office wanted Sam Darnold except for one, which was the Jets. So take that if you will.
Because the Jets were the ones that had experience with them.
Jets were the ones. Well, anyone that goes to the Jets. I mean, they're like the Browns.
I see ghosts
QB
out
carousel.
there.
It's like Kardashians and boyfriends. How much they switch.
So I guess the Jets and the Browns are like Kardashians and Jenners.
Yeah, well put. Yeah.
So we were talking about Shedeur Sanders earlier. I don't know that he's going to end up being this superstar. But right now he's a superstar when it comes to jersey sales. The top 10 rookie jersey sales, he is at the top of that, and he's the only one in the top 10 not drafted in the first round. Whatever the awe and wonder is about Shedeur Sanders, I don't get it, but he's selling Cleveland Brown jerseys.
I
just it's an interesting
don't
phenomenon.
Get it.
Such an interesting phenomenon. Like, what's going on?
You would think that Travis Hunter would have the numero uno spot,
Right?
not number 2.
Plays both sides.
And then there's Cam Ward for the Titans. And nobody wants to wear one of them jerseys.
I knew it was coming.
Ashton Genty, Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart, Titoria McMillan, Matthew Golden, Colston Loveland, and then Tyler Warren from the Colts rounds out the top 10. For rookie jersey sales, you don't even know that Shedeur Sanders is going to play for the Browns. He could go there, sit on the bench for a year, kind of learning stuff, and then end up traded. And you just bought a jersey that will never see the field.
Right?
Outside of preseason.
I just don't get the attraction. I don't get the appeal.
It's Gen Z, man.
Now, we might find out he's really special. He is a Sanders.
I think he is really good. I think if he gets an opportunity, he'll take advantage of it. That being said, for him to be mentally ready for that opportunity might be a hurdle for him. But if he gets it,
got nothing against Deion Sanders. Got nothing against Shedeur or Shiloh, but I don't care for some of the cockiness. I don't care for some of the ways that he handled himself in college or the entitled thought process of Deion Sanders. Oh, those pre-draft attacks. Okay, first off, Deion, those weren't attacks. It was called analysis. And it's called people looking at him as a player and him as a person and seeing, so when he slid down in the draft, it wasn't an attack. It was an assessment. It was an analysis. What's that?
It did not have to do with him as a player. I'm pretty sure of that.
But it wasn't an attack.
I think no, it wasn't an attack. McShay and Todd McShay talked about this, and he's credible. He's one of those guys. You hear a lot of noise in the NFL draft. He's one of those guys you trust. He was saying just a lot of people wanted him, but he wasn't attentive in any of the draft interviews.
Right.
He was really just not in it with the coaches, not present at all.
This guy's going to cause us trouble.
Yep. And so they were like, well, this guy's super talented. And in terms of these, like when reporters attack players' characters, I typically attack players' characters, say something about a character flaw. I'm usually really, really late to buy into it. But judging by what happened in the NFL draft and how credible the sources are and what NFL executives have said unnaming themselves, I think there might be some truth to this. I'm almost rooting for Shedeur because of how hard the mainstream media has been on him. But man, like there might be some truth in him being unattentive in those draft
Well, what that basically means is he may have some talent, but the problem is between his ears and whether it's cockiness, entitledness, whatever it is that he thinks he is. I don't even think it's a character issue, but I think it's something ain't right with the way he sees the world. You know. And it damages him as a product. It damages him as a leader of other men. It's so I guess listen, we weren't in those meetings. The NFL coaches, GMs, and owners were.
Yeah.
And he slid down to the 5th round. So
and I like Shedeur.
Talent ain't everything. In fact, what's going on in between his ears probably will override the talent. Mm-hmm. Once you get in your head and things are bad, then you end up playing bad. Mm-hmm. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is the most arrogant, non-taking of any accountability sumbitch there is out there. But man, could he play when he could play? When he could play, oh boy, could he play. When he starts slipping, he starts blaming his wide receivers. When mistakes were made, he blames everybody but himself.
I don't know.
His talent has been overridden by his mashugana. It's been overridden by the ayahuasca. It's been overridden by whatever craziness goes on upstairs in his head. And that is a good case in point to show you, all right, Shedeur Sanders might have some talent, but back then, if he didn't have whatever's going on upstairs in his brain under control, the NFL teams are like, man, we can't use him. Another Cam Newton, here he comes.
I don't buy that about the Aaron Rodgers stuff, because say what you want about him off the field, but on the field, I guarantee you with his coaches, he was present and highly attentive of every single play call that needed to be, every single play that was listed, all of that. I guarantee you he was present.
Shedeur, that was being so cocky going into those meetings and turn everyone off from him.
Has he done that?
That's what he did in those meetings with the GMs, with the coaches, with the owners.
Maybe the chat, but I don't know if he truly has done it.
Are you talking about Aaron Rodgers?
I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. More than just, not just Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking about Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, Shedeur Sanders. Oh, yeah, I buy that.
He blazed through the combine meetings, and everyone's like, yeah, how about no?
Yeah, I buy that. There's a lot of credible sources saying those things.
But see, Aaron Rodgers didn't do that then. He got the job. Then he became an a-hole. You got to wait till you have the job before you get to be the a-hole.
Yeah.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, remember how arrogant and invincible we tended to be in our 20s with the NIL? The players, well, they're getting big money early, like Shedeur Sanders. Truly defines the big man on campus in college, but now he's a grown-up job, and his career is going to be determined by this. Yeah, he's thought he could carry the big man on campus attitude into a meeting with billionaires. Great idea. Way to go, kid. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1939, Joe Sprenz, known as Mule to his teammates, fractured his upper jaw in 12 places and had 5 teeth knocked out when he attempted to catch a ball dropped from 800 feet from the Goodyear blimp.
Good night.
San Francisco Seals catcher would spend 2 months in the hospital, participated in baseball day at Golden State Exposition on Treasure Island in San Francisco Bay when the ball smashed his face through his upraised glove.
Oh, my goodness.
Gosh.
Yeah, we heard stories of people having them drop from the plane, or that one guy where the lady who was a pilot, she's like, instead of a ball, she threw a grapefruit, and he thought he was dead.
Yeah,
he's like, oh my god, I'm bleeding. I don't know why they ever thought this was a good idea, but 800 feet.
My gosh,
this is where they all learned a little bit about terminal velocity.
Did it go through?
It went through his glove.
Through his. Wow,
got him and just destroyed his face. So
holy crap.
Yeah,
that is insane.
1939. There are other stories where people have caught stuff or done stuff, and it's like, hey, yay. This story right here. Hey, Jeffrey, you want to catch a ball being dropped from the blimp? Nope.
I wonder if they have the velocity on like how many miles per hour.
I am sure this is a physics problem you could put into Google, and it would tell you what would be the velocity of a baseball drop from 800 feet.
Throwing
if you
it
hurry,
accurately,
you could Google it now.
Throwing it accurately, 800
too
feet.
late.
Is impressive.
Show's over. And they weren't throwing it; they just dropped it straight up over the top of it.
That's like impressive, though, how they got it accurately to him. I'm sure you
there's your homework. I expect you to tell me tomorrow what is the speed of a baseball dropped from 800 feet from a blimp.
Yep.
You just tell us tomorrow. We don't have time to figure it out today.
I'll see what I can do.
I think I probably could have Googled it up. I could have had it in time. That's why you're still a rookie. Don't get cocky like Shedeur Sanders Harris.
I'm going to try not to. I'm trying, man. All this NIL money I'm getting, I'm trying to keep a level head.
Yeah. Nil. He's getting nil.
For now.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. We'll see you guys in the radio tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Bye-bye.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep.